Hey listeners, before we get into the show, we just wanted you to know that this episode was recorded in October of 2023. When we finished recording, we realized one of our microphones wasn't recording at full volume and it caused a lot of echo when we were mixing it together. After a lot of editing, we finally got it in pretty good shape, so enjoy and back to the show.
It's the Luli Podcast. Oh yeah, it's the Luli Podcast. All right.
Okay, welcome to the Lou Lee Podcast. This is your host, Matt Lee.
And I'm Lou Ciccone. And with us today, we have our friend, Dave Huzyk. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Happy to be here.
Dave, we go way back.
Yeah.
Like,
Grade 4?
I think technically, were you in Mrs. Colson's class?
No. What grade was that?
JK.
No, I skipped JK. I
Oh,
started
okay.
at SK.
Okay, so then, yeah, I would have met you in grade 3 or 4. But
Or
probably
Celino.
4. Probably 4.
Grade
And then
4.
we were in each other's class 4, 5, 6, and then we were just like pretty much inseparable all throughout elementary school and high school, which is pretty cool.
And we would have met hockey?
That's what I was going to say. So, I
yeah.
met you. I bet you both about the same age. Because
really?
we were, I think I was grade 5. I think it was like 13. Or no, that doesn't make sense. Grade 5, I'd be 10 when I met you.
Yeah,
But
probably.
it was the Morin
Yeah.
sponsored team. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we
With-
did 2 years in a row, I think, together.
Yeah.
Or maybe we were a little bit older. But it wasn't high school. It was definitely still great, like elementary school.
It's weird because maybe because we became friends again later, but I remember almost no one else on that team. Were we like,
Ben Calling,
yeah, I remember Ben.
Alex, I mean his
Okay, but
dad, yeah.
And then what about everybody else?
Curtis Duck, JP Muggeridge.
Okay, but Curtis.
Okay, name me one more. Here's another. Okay, him, but another.
I remember those like 4 guys. Do you remember anybody else?
That's about all I remember.
So that, like, why do we remember each other? Because I guess because we went to high school again later, and then
Well, what was interesting too was because I remember it was like the second day of high school at Notre Dame, and I ran into you, and we had acknowledged that we remembered each other from hockey, but we weren't like friends right away. It was like, I don't know, grade 10, 11, like we really started our group getting solidified. So like I definitely, because it was close enough to when we were playing hockey then to remember you, but you had gone by a different name. Like you were
Right.
Dan when we played hockey.
That's right.
And by the time you hit high school, you preferred Lou.
you were like, who is this guy?
Well, I remember that, like, I think it was Nicole Arnett. You went to elementary school with her?
No.
Maybe it wasn't her. Was it Tanya?
Tanya, yeah.
Maybe her, because they were kind of hanging out. I remember someone, though, was like calling your name, like Lou, and I was behind, and I was like, do you mean Dan? And they were like, who's Dan? And I was like, who's Lou?
Yeah.
But because of that, it was a bit more memorable, too.
Right. That's interesting because I don't remember. I remember just the beginning of high school being so nervous and like all those awkward moments and stuff and just like not really knowing who, or like not knowing when to correct people or whatever. So that's why like I ultimately just like went by Lou, is because people would just start calling me that. And I'm like, that's my name.
So I actually knew you as Dan for probably like 3 or 4 months. And then Brophy came up to me while you were there and was like, dude, did you know his name is Lou? And I was like, what? And then Bro was like, dude, his name is Lou. Like, we got to call him Lou. That's the best name ever. And then I was like, dude, it's Lou from now on. And I guess you were so nervous, which is weird to think about, like, you being nervous because you're so like,
Well,
I don't think of you as nervous at all.
yeah, but your first like days of high school. Also,
Right.
Also,
That's what I mean,
my first class in high school was gym.
Oh, great way to start.
Which is a weird way to start because you
Yeah.
go to school and you don't go to a classroom until your second period class. So everyone else has gone through the like, you sit at a desk. Like I didn't do any of that stuff because I went to gym first. And so like the teacher called me Lou because it was on the sheet and it was just like, I don't know. And everyone else is comfortable and I'm not comfortable yet. And it was just like, this is so awkward and this is so weird. I'm just going with it. And
I remember the thing I was most nervous about, like first class, first day, everything was like the uniform.
Yeah.
Because elementary school, you didn't wear uniforms. In high school, it's like, oh, like, do I button it up all the way? Do I wear the sweater, the cardigan? Like, how? I don't want to be nerdy and stuff. But that's even weirder if your first class is gym, because you aren't even dealing with that. You're like getting into your shorts and stuff.
There still is a uniform for gym, but you're right, because it's still not in uniform.
It's just a weird way to
But it's
start.
funny, though, because don't you think that the uniforms eventually turned to like a positive thing? Because like
sure.
after like the first week of it being awkward, you're like, I don't have to choose clothes for the next 4 years of my life. It's so easy to just, you wake up, you get those clothes, and you just go to school. Everyone's wearing the same thing. There's no judging, really. It's just easy.
I loved it. I loved uniforms.
Same. I was going to say, I don't know if this was consistent at like other, like Catholic schools or other schools that would have uniforms and stuff, but like, I didn't see, at least for our grade, like a ton of bullying or stuff. Or it seemed like, I know that like not everyone got along, but it seemed like for the most part, a lot of people could get along. And I feel like because we were all in the same uniform, like you're not picking on each other like, oh, there's the goth people, or oh, there's the whatever, like, because they're dressed that way or this way. And I felt like it, I don't know, it just kind of unified us together more. And I don't know.
I
like
remember
my high school
being
experience.
super scared of getting gummered, but my brother was like, "Don't worry, like I'll take care of you." Even though like I don't think that's a thing, and it just obviously never.
Happened
Well,
to
I was
Bro.
going to say it happened to me and Bro.
Yeah.
It happened to us at the same time.
Didn't you guys have to push pennies?
Yep.
The guy who says no bullying happened, it literally happened to you.
Well, so the thing was, I
Rite of
don't.
Passage.
Well, that was it. Like, I don't see it as like bullying. Like, I think back when my sister, who's 6 years older, so I was never in high school at the same time as her. We had just missed each other. But like, she would tell me about the bullying where people were like getting duct taped naked to like the football pole, or they're having to like eat like worms, or like just really nasty stuff. And like these guys, they made us push a coin, one sidewalk block. And even Brophy, like, he saw that I was in the lead and he just stopped trying. He's like, dude, you just win. Just finish it.
Yeah, just
and
end
like
it. Make it over.
they knew that's what was going on. They didn't care. Like, it was more an initiation thing. But it shouldn't have been us, though. That's the my favorite part of the story. Do you remember the Korea twins?
yeah,
Adam and someone else. Anyways, they were the ones who were mouthing off to these seniors. And so they went over and like, all right, well, now we're going to gummer you. And they ran away. They got out of there really quick. And then they looked at me and Bro for sitting on like a bench nearby. And they're like, all right, you guys, come here. I'm like, this guy.
I love that.
Because I already hated this Korea guy. I never went to school with him before. But in the summer between elementary school and high school, I was playing soccer. And I played against him. I can't remember which of the twins it was. But he was trying to get around me. I was like a defenseman, and he couldn't. And he tripped over his feet. And so to try to like keep himself up, he's pulling onto me. But rather than like keep himself up, he just pulled me down. And I landed on my wrist and broke my wrist. And it's the only time I've ever broken a bone.
Yeah.
And then I see him like 2 months later at school, and I get gummered because he runs away. And I don't know. It was an interesting experience, but I never saw it as bullying.
Yeah.
Speaking of like bone breaking, I've also never thought like I broke a bone like ever, and I haven't until like my uncle was like, "Dude, am I just so drunk, or is your nose crooked?" And then I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Your nose is crooked." And then like I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, it must have been broken."
Oh, and
Because I used to get into wrestles when I was a kid, so I don't know.
And
I figured this nose has probably been broken.
but it's never been painful, or like your nose still works?
Yeah, like I never noticed it.
you haven't looked at gotten it and checked out that it is broken or anything? It
No.
doesn't bother you or anything?
No, like it's hard to breathe on one side more than the other, but it's not like Evan's bad where he actually had to get like surgery.
Right. I don't think I've broken anything,
Yeah,
as far as I know, unless your uncle can.
yeah. If he gets drinking,
We gotta liquor him up.
He's like, "Oh, your pinky." Okay, Dave, we are going to move on to my favorite segment.
Nice.
And here we go.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Sex, baby. Sex, 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 baby.
That's right, baby. Let's talk about sex. My favorite thing to talk about. Our topic today is Double Dick Dude. You ever heard of this guy?
No.
So he is the 8th most popular AMA on Reddit.
Ask me anything.
He has a condition called diphalia, which you are legit just born with 2 penises. And he has the craziest condition where they're actually both functioning penises. Where most guys, if they do have diphalia, they just have like one small little nub that's like not really anything. Like it can't actually function. But this guy actually has 2 full-on functioning penises.
So the way you're talking about it, it sounds like you've done a bit of research.
Oh,
here.
a lot.
So what does it look like? Is it like that? It's two separate shafts.
That's the only thing I didn't do is look at it.
Okay.
And because he on the interview was like, "Be careful when you look this up because you're gonna see some weird stuff." He doesn't have his name out there, so you don't know who you're looking for,
Okay.
or what you're looking for. His name is just Double Dick Dude. And
Triple
so,
D.
at least for him, they're just side by side. And I guess like one of the canals was pinched, so like it'd be kind of painful to pee or to ejaculate. Because
Wait,
one of
so-
the canals was just like pinched.
So like you're saying they're both fully functioning. That means the urine from your bladder goes
Goes out both.
to both,
Goes out both.
and then
Same with the semen.
Semen also goes to both.
Yeah. So then he had surgery to get that like the pinching unblocked. And I didn't know this, but you can actually just get this surgery done, and it just makes your dick bigger. There's legit like everyone's dick can grow at least 1.5 inches longer than it already is. Because like where your shaft is, you just like can just untether that from your body and just pull it out more, and it could just come out a bit more. So then he got it done. Before he got the surgery, it was 6 inches on one, and the other one was 7. What do you think it was when he finished?
So you're saying that both of them got extended?
Yeah.
Well, you just said you can get like another 1 to 2 inches. So I'm just gonna say 2 inches. So 6 and 7. I'm gonna say now, what is that? 8 and 9?
Lou, care for a guess?
I guess the same based off of the knowledge that you've given us.
No, he's an overachiever. Each are sitting at 10.5 inches.
Jeez.
And the dude just got 2 full on, and they're side by side, just.
And there are some people with 1 and they're micro. This guy's.
And I think he's pansexual. I don't want to talk for him, but I know he's at least bi. He's at least bisexual. So
can he arouse one and not the other?
yeah. So the
Or are
way
they
he was
tied
saying it was like
Together.
the other one also wants the same sensation. So like, you know how like sometimes it just feels good to pee.
Yeah.
Like if one is just not peeing, like it just doesn't feel great, and he just has to like readjust it, and then both start peeing, and it feels great. Same with like masturbating.
so
Like
how
if
would
he can just jerk off the one, and like it will come out both
So
when he's done.
when he has sexual intercourse,
Yeah,
he puts them both in.
he usually uses one. He has done both, he said, and like a bunch of people are just like. I don't know what my reaction would be if like my date is just like whips it out and there's just 2 massive dogs. But I also don't know what it's like to be gay, because that might be amazing.
Maybe.
well,
right?
But so that's what I was thinking is like, because you're asking, would I like be jealous or what do I think about this? And then that's it. Like, how would you use it? Like, is it, if you're with a woman, are you going in 2 holes at the same time? Or if you were talking about just one hole, both dicks.
I was more just asking if to get off, does he need them both to be active?
One will be harder than the other if he's jerking off just the one.
So
It will be harder.
He can come to completion just using
by
the
one. Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't need to use both,
No.
but prefers. Sounds like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
prefers
just
it.
does it.
Right.
What's really cool too is this guy's crazy open about this. Like he was being interviewed by Asa Akira, on her podcast, and she was just asking everything because she's just crazy fascinated about it. And he was just answering it like no problem. He's just like, yeah, oh yeah, like I tugged this one and then I tugged the other one and then like.
So did they bring up like, what if you have to pass like a kidney stone or something?
Probably only
I
goes
don't
through
know.
one.
It just goes through.
It just goes through one, yeah. It's just like it would go out one way, right? Like it would hit the fork and then.
But you were saying what happens to one kind of happens to the other. So like, would
It's
it
like
would
another
it,
kidney stone, just
Well,
like
not
kidney
another
stone.
kidney stone, but like, would it sympathy bleed?
I don't know, man. Oh Jesus, it makes me queasy thinking of. Oh, I actually get tingly. Clint was talking about having kidney stones. Maybe I shouldn't even talk for him about this. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. And he's peeing, and then he just like saw blood come out, and I was like, dude, if I ever saw that, I would think I would just pass out immediately on the spot. Like I would just like.
Are you queasy with
Did
blood
he,
in general?
Sorry, was he painful? Was it painful and then it happened? Like, was he expecting the kidney stone?
I don't know. Maybe it was the first time he had it.
Isn't it always like a really painful experience?
Yeah. But
So-
he was just like peeing, and then there was just some blood, and then he was just
But
He
like
didn't- he didn't pass
accompanied
the
by a
stone
lot of pain prior to that.
probably.
Because at least when you said like you would pass out, at least there's comfort in like I think pain. It's relieving to pass them.
Oh,
Because
I don't know if it's past at that point.
Oh, he was just bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was just like early stages.
then that would suck a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd deal with it, but I don't know. Anyways, that's Double Take Dude.
Well, I was going to ask, like, is there? So that's what was the condition called again?
Diphalia.
What is there a condition for someone with two vaginas? Like, is this
Yes.
person's soulmate out there?
Yes.
Ooh.
But
Yeah, we got to find it.
I don't think it works that same way. It's actually more common that women have double vaginas than it is to have double dicks.
So this guy has options, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's women.
He's got a
out
lot
there
of
for
soulmates,
him.
is what I'm saying.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
What do you want to do, Dave? You want to do your time capsule questions, or go down memory lane, or
Oh,
play a game?
well, let's do a game. I'm
Okay,
always
this
about
is.
games.
I think this is Lou's favorite game or segment. It's called. Actually, what's your favorite segment?
Which one is my favorite segment?
Yeah.
The sex baby one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so this one's overrated, underrated.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna give you a topic. You say if it's overrated or underrated, and you tell me why. I actually don't have that many prepared for you.
Okay. Is this supposed to be like rapid fire? Or?
No.
Okay.
No, it's actually way more fun if we just like talk through it. So overrated or underrated? Ed Sheeran.
I mean, I'm gonna say overrated, but I don't think that. Like, I think Ed Sheeran's good. It's just he's very popular. Like, how could he be underrated? I think that a lot of people are aware of his skills, and he's shown it off and stuff. And I do think he's peaked, maybe, with his music. But I like his music. It's not a diss to him. But if I had to choose, I would say overrated.
You can say accurately rated.
Accurately rated, then,
Oh,
if that is
true.
an option. I would say accurately rated. I think he's very skillful. I think he's
I
deserves
think that's
the
a
fame.
big
and-
compliment, actually, because he's.
I think so too, especially because I thought you hated him.
No.
The last time we talked about him, you're like, "Yo, he sucks."
No, I like him as a songwriter. What I don't like, and probably what we were talking about, is I don't like kind of like the looping for performance. I'd rather just see a full band than like,
Oh, him.
well, not just him, but like an artist in general. A lot of artists may do that where they would loop stuff, and I think it's cool the first couple times you see it, but for me, it's more like a necessity of someone starting out. At his level, he could hire a full band and just like blow it out on stage.
So,
but I
what
still
do you-
think he's a great
What do you mean
songwriter.
by looping? Like he'll
Oh,
he'll
sorry.
like bang and do like the drums, and then put that on loop, and then play a guitar part, and then put that on loop, and then it builds into a full
Yeah,
song.
like if you watch any, I mean, he will have. I think. I mean, I'm not a huge Ed Sheeran follower or anything, so like don't quote me hard on this. But I know in his early days and still through to today, he'll use like a guitar pedal, a looping pedal. It's what you said basically, where you set some kind of noise, you record something, and then you capture that and you repeat it. So in fact, it could be like, at first maybe banging on the guitar, just a percussion.
Right, percussion, yeah.
But then it could be like, here's the chord progression, and then that will free up, now I can do a lead on top of that, or, you could focus more on the vocals with the music playing behind him without him having to actually do it. And-
So does that mean that when he does his sets, he goes up there alone?
Yeah, so his concerts almost always been alone,
Wow.
and that's why.
That's
And I think he
cool.
started like performing on the street with a loop pedal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like how he started it, and then he just like toured like that. And it's the best. It's like awesome. I've been to 3 of his concerts, maybe 4 now. And yeah, it's always just been him. It's always just been him.
I've seen like the odd video on YouTube where if it's like a performance on a talk show or just like a bigger concert thing where like he may have other musicians for like one song or something. But yeah, I believe you're right that it's mostly still just him. Which, I think, like I said, it's cool, but for me, I guess it was just a bit gimmicky. And that's why maybe you thought I didn't like him. But I do think he's a great songwriter. And actually, there's the one album, and I forget what it's called. It's the one where it's all covers though, or not covers. Sorry, it's all collaborations.
Oh, it's the EP number 5.
Yeah, and like some of those songs I think are because he tries like different kind of genres or sounds, and there's some songs on there that are such big bangers. The one with Bruno Mars and Chris Stapleton.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like I
Let's get
play
a
that
country
on
singer,
guitar all the
an
time.
R&B guy and a pop guy, and let's do a rock song.
And let's
Like,
have
it's so
like
good.
Yeah.
melting guitar riffs. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all those dudes like just bleed talent. Like they're just oozing with it. So
Tangentially, another question: if you go see a band live,
Mm-hmm.
do you prefer them to stick as close as they can to the recorded version, or do you prefer them like deviating and playing the same song like wildly differently?
I wouldn't say I'd prefer them to deviate wildly, but I do like when they give you something original. Like
Okay.
the thing is, you have the recording already. You've heard that version. You have that take. You can go home, listen at any time. If I'm at the concert, I want them to give me something unique. And it is kind of cool when they switch it up, maybe like show to show. You know, if it's just like they're improvising, or maybe it's something lyrically about the city,
Yep.
they infuse that. But if it just becomes like, I don't know, the Grateful Dead jamming for 20 minutes solo, like that's too much. I don't need that much unique or difference. But yeah, I think that an artist should they should make their show like different each time. I think like, you know, especially, I mean, I just kind of bashed the Grateful Dead, but that was one of the reasons why people love to go to every show of theirs and follow them city to city, because you never knew what you're going to get. And actually, one of my favorite bands ever, I never got to see them perform because they were a bit before my time, but this band Fugazi, they never wrote a set list. They would just go on stage and kind of feel each other out. Sometimes the band members would have a certain cue, and they would pick up
Really?
on that and be like, okay, that's the song. Or sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know what's coming, but he has an idea. Like, I'm just going to let him set the groundwork for the next 30 seconds and then come in once I realize.
That's sweet.
Or it'll be like, oh, someone just shouted, they want this song. We're going to do this song. But you never knew what you're going to get, even the band. And that's what I think, we need more of in live music, because, it's getting so expensive now to go attend these concerts. Like, really make it worth your time, your money. And that, for me, that gives so much value. I don't know.
That's interesting, because that's kind of, I think that's like the opposite of what something like the Eras tour is, right? That's like a production, like every beat has been planned and they know exactly how everything is going to go, because it is such a massive like spectacle to see. But I can see the interest in like seeing more of a flowing type, like on the spot freestyle type thing. And that would be cool too.
And I think you bring up a good point with like Taylor Swift and like that Eras tour. Like, you're right. Like they've made a movie of it. Like, it's exact. And for me, that's almost more like, now this is like Broadway. It's like a play. It's like a musical.
Yeah, kind of.
And,
yeah.
we watched Hamilton, or many people watched Hamilton on Disney Plus. You could have gone and seen it live, but then you get that recorded version. And it is so tight and it's awesome. But I don't think that's every artist. Like, that's a special type of artist where, like we really are imprinting this person in time. Like, Taylor Swift's one of, if not the biggest pop star of our generation. And so that kind of performance makes sense for her. But like, do I need to see like Foo Fighters do that? I don't need costume changes, and I don't want everything, like,
to be fair, if
exactly
the Foo
planned.
Fighters did that, it would be hilarious. Because have you seen their music videos? Like, they're all ridiculous and over the top. So it would be funny. But I agree with that. Yeah.
that's interesting. I was gonna actually mention Taylor Swift as well, but I went to Red, and it was a full-on production. And actually, one of my critiques was she sounds exactly like the album. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really respect artists that can sound like the recording, because if you can do it in a recording booth, but you can't do it live, I actually don't like those kind of artists. They just don't have enough talent.
They actually don't
perform
have,
it.
it's like kind of fake talent almost.
Yeah, it's just like they can't hit the notes that they can in the booth. Like, how many takes did
Yeah.
you try before actually nailing that song?
Well, what it probably is that they didn't get it. It's all just
Exactly, but
computer
that's-
magic. It's just editing and yeah.
Or that
Right.
too. And
And that's less respectful. Yeah.
I can definitely see where people would prefer, like, yeah, I want to like just exactly, see like the execution of it and just respect the performance. But I will agree, like, I do want the songs to be able to be performed the way they were recorded. Like, I hate when you go see a band or artist and it sounds so hollow. Like there's all these instruments on the recording, but then you go live and it's like, oh, they didn't add the
trumpets
mandolin or the trumpet and like I think whatever you do, whatever you record, you should be able to replicate live. But I'd also like to see a little extra with that, like I said, switching it up or ad-libbing a bit. But yeah, no, I totally agree. It sucks when you're disappointed where it's like, this doesn't sound at all like what it recorded or what I expected.
Well, was the Red tour like similar to? It's probably not as big as this Airs tour, but it was a spectacle.
Yeah,
because I feel like
18 costume changes. It felt like, and it was just like there's dancers, and
I feel like that is different, right? Like there's two lanes, right? There's the lane of like you're just a band on stage, and if you freestyle and you're almost expected to be different than the album, because if you're the same, you're just literally there listening to the exact same thing that's on the album.
Right.
But with Taylor and these big spectacles, you're not just listening to the exact way it's on the album. You're also seeing this crazy thing. So it couples well together, and it's not...
Right.
If she was just on stage, just herself, there was no costume changes, there was no spectacle, and she just sang the songs exactly the way they were, you'd probably be like, not as good?
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But Post Malone does almost the exact same show every time as well. And it's not a spectacle. It's just a man on stage singing to his music but he doesn't have a backing track, which I really like. Most of the time he doesn't have a backing track. But like when we went to his concert, I knew exactly how he performs each song live because I had watched so many YouTube videos of him doing it live, and it was just the exact same. Like it's a bunch of stuff that's not on the recorded song that he always just says on stage at certain times. And I could follow along with every single time he did that because he just sings those songs like that live.
So that's another reason. I'm glad you brought that up and mentioned it. That's another reason why I feel like performers should have a bit more uniqueness to each performance or something. Because now with YouTube, like you can see every concert. Like I don't have to go to LA to watch this band's last performance. It'll just be on YouTube. It'll be there. And when you see like city after city, video after video, and you're like, oh, they say the same thing every time. Like it kind of is a bit disappointing then when they come to your city and say the same joke and you're like, oh, that wasn't ad-libbed or that wasn't of the moment or like it's so programmed. It's so I've actually been in bands where, you know, I do that. I would do the same like cue or say the same thing in the middle of the song and my bandmates would say like, dude, this is lame now. Like stop it. Like, I don't know. I guess
you got to say to them, this performance is not for you. It's for them. And they liked it when I threw my guitar in the air and whatever, right?
But now people are aware that it isn't for them.
So it's an interesting point. And I guess it probably doesn't make sense to compare with Taylor Swift. But like all of the Swiftie fans that I know that have like seen the movie are like, I want to see this in person more. Which is crazy. It's like almost the opposite, right? It's like you'd think they would see it and be like,
I'm satisfied.
Now I don't need to see it. Now I don't need to spend like $10,000 to get like tickets to go see it. But they're like,
it doesn't quench the thirst.
Yeah, they're like, I really want to see this even more now. So, but you brought a good point, which is like jokes, and they say jokes at the same time. And then I thought of comedians, and I think of the same thing about comedians too. If they kind of say the same set list, or the same jokes, and I've seen it before, like I basically don't need to see that live. Like, because it's the same thing. So
yeah, I think going back, like you were talking a bit earlier about, there's kind of the two lanes or two avenues, and you can have maybe like just the band or artist perform, or you can have like the full show, spectacle, background dancers, everything. I don't know if either of you have gone to a Green Day show or have seen like footage online, but for me, they're one of the best live acts I've ever seen. And like I do like Green Day a lot. I wouldn't say they're one of my favorite bands, but I do have to say they're the best entertainers I've ever watched.
Yeah.
You go to that show and it is the songs you know, and they really are playing the same set every show now. Like they're what, 35 plus years. Their most popular songs aren't really going to change. You may get one new song now per set. But all of a sudden, it's like there's pyrotechnics, all these lights. They get the crowd left side cheering, right side cheering. Oh, we're going to ask fans to come up on stage and play the next song. So that's random because they don't know who they're pulling up. And, you know, like sometimes, you know, Billy Joe's on stilts or, you know, clowns are walking out for, you know, the one song King of the Day that sounds circusy. And it really is a production of a show, but still has that like raw element of the performance, and there's like some you know, uniqueness to it. And I don't know, I just feel like they are the best.
They're
model
probably
of what a
right in the
show-
middle, which is they play the songs, but that's also a spectacle, and it's a
Yeah.
little bit random every time, but it's also the same songs every single time. Like,
Yeah, and I don't know if they're just lucky in finding that balance, or like if it can be replicated. But for me, like, you know, I've seen them I think 3 times, and now I have tickets for next year, and they're always some of my most memorable shows.
I wonder if that also has to do with the type of music too, because their songs are like, you can jump to these songs and dance to these songs, and like they're so catchy. Like, I guess most bands are like that, most popular bands at least, but like something about that genre of music is just like so much energy, so much fun, and like, and they're old, which is like makes it nostalgic too, right? Like my parents listened to Green Day, right? Like that's how old they are, that you know some of the songs, they know some of the songs. So it's like,
You know what was wild was this past summer I went and saw Weezer at Budweiser stage. My girlfriend Natalie surprised me with tickets, and it was amazing. You know, I thought that it was going to sell out, and I think it did sell out, but she had grabbed them in time. But once I got there, I saw why it sold out, because there was like everyone at this show. I thought it was just going to be like people our age and older, but like I saw so many teenagers there. There were parents that brought their like young kids who were like 7, 8 years old. Everyone was getting into it, and like I guess that's part of the whole kind of 30-year cycle. You see a lot of things become retro and come cool or kind of come back, and but I was just very surprised, and that's another band that put on a great show. They had such a great like just production on stage, all the like stuff set up, and you know, what was really cool was they made it look like a van. Their whole theme was that it was like the indie road trip. Like you were in a van driving with them, and they would have at the top of the stage a rear view mirror, and it was just a camera pointing out into the audience. And it was a pretty cool effect and stuff. But yeah, like everyone is sort of getting into these older bands now and stuff. And I feel like that adds so much energy to the show when it's like, you know, it's not just a bunch of old tired people who are like, I'm too old to move around. It's like, oh no, the kids are getting things going, and the parents are like, all right, I'll go in the pit with you or something. What was the show like, or what was the audience like at Post Malone though? Like, were they jumping around, or
We were in the nosebleeds, but the place was loud. Like when the song Sunflower came on from Spider-Man, that was like one of the loudest songs I've ever heard performed.
like everybody was singing it.
The entire stadium is just singing it. Were we at the ACC? Or Rogers?
Yeah, it was ACC.
Yeah. And like, so the ACC is a little bit smaller, and you can like, man, it was so loud. It was so loud. It was awesome. It was really cool.
That reminds me of, I think it was the Foo Fighters that said it. Maybe it was another band. But people had asked them, like, how, like, you know, they released a new album, and they're like, when you tour, like, you play like one song from the new album. And they're like, you have to remember, like, people who come out to our shows range from 50-year-olds to teenagers, right? And yeah, the teenagers have only heard the new album, but like those 50-year-olds expect to hear the hits that they listen to. So they're like quote unquote stuck, and like, we have to play our hits because that's what everybody wants to hear. And you know, if we just played the new songs, there'd be a lot of people who are disappointed. So
yeah, and it's really interesting because these artists, you know, you look at the music industry, and it's very like in a state of brokenness right now. But like that old antiquated system of like, we've got the radio stations, and we're gonna play and pump these singles that like the labels choose and stuff. You know, they're not, you know, like rock station. You know, at least for rock, I'm sure it's different for pop and rap and hip hop. But like, there's not a lot of rock radio stations anymore, and the ones that are still around, like they have to stick with what they know is popular. Like they're gonna still play the songs from the 90s, from the early 2000s.
well,
They're not
those are the
necessarily
people
gonna,
who are listening to radio, but
that's what I mean. They're not gonna pump the new stuff. So like, of course, like that's what the audience is listening to and hearing. They want to hear these old songs. That's the stuff that is getting still promoted the most. Not even their newer songs. So it's interesting. Like now with you know, like TikTok and things, like how songs go viral, and you know, you're just with Spotify, that's how you're grabbing it. Artists can drop it like that. They can record it today and release it tomorrow.
Is that how like an artist knows what their hits are? Is like Spotify numbers, basically?
Well, that's it. It's almost like the audience is choosing it now, which is so interesting because before, like, I would hear so many stories of bands where they would be like, yeah, these are the songs we want as our singles. And the label would be like, no, actually, these other songs on the album, these are the ones we think will sell. That's what we're sending to the stations.
Right.
And so ultimately, it was executives deciding this, not even the artists in some cases. But now, yeah, I think the control is totally shifted. And it's like, if people take this song and use like even a 10-second clip of it, just, you know, portion of it, but they're doing all these TikTok edits and things with it, and it becomes viral. Well, people are hearing it. People want it. They're going to want to hear maybe the full version of that song. And who's the label or the artist at this point now to say like, that's not my single?
But like, don't they? Is there no like, if you're Post Malone and he comes out with a new album, like, I'm sure he has an inkling of what songs will probably be most popular, and he might be wrong, right, or might be wrong. But don't they like try to promote those songs more, and then ultimately they're heard more and probably are the hits? Like, that must still happen, right?
Yeah, like, well, I think established artists, they definitely get a bit more control in choosing. And the thing is, like, because let me make a music video, you know, ahead of time before the album's even released, so they've already chosen in that case. But even for some of these bigger artists, like, you can look at Taylor Swift, and I think, what was it? She just had some offhand comment at a concert, like, oh, you know, my last album, I really wish Cruel Summer was a hit. That was going to be the big summer banger, but then the pandemic happened, so we didn't move forward with it. And then the fans were just like, well, screw it. We'll make it a single. We'll make it a hit. And like, even though she was in her new album now, the what is it? Midnight or
Midnight.
Yeah, this was like her single right now is from her previous like
Was it actually?
3 albums ago.
I didn't know that.
Well, because she did all the folklore stuff in between that too. So it's just crazy that because she said that and the fans were like, they just ran with it. So sometimes they don't even have control.
Very good song.
It's a great
Summer's
song.
A very good song.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did want to mention, it's funny, going back to our overrated and underrated, Ed Sheeran, the last concert I went to, he at this time had exploded, and this was when Divide had just come out. His, I don't know, 4th album or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was so massive. And he was like, hey guys, I just want to let you know, like, my audience ranges from like 4-year-olds at my concert to like grandpas at like 70, 80 plus coming out to my show. So I'm going to be playing a lot of the songs that they know. I just have too many hits.
Maybe it was a Sheeran.
He
that
played
said it.
almost nothing from Divide, and I was so upset. I was like, this is literally the other concerts that I've been to already. He played like 1 or 2 songs. And just like a bunch of the new stuff that I was really excited to see live, he didn't play. And I was pretty upset.
You'll see artists sometimes do the opposite, where they'll be like, I'm not playing any old stuff, it's just the new album. And
That's
you get usually a worse reaction. A lot of people are like,
that's not
ugh,
good.
yeah.
That's not
and
good.
I've been to shows like that. Actually, one of my favorite bands ever is the Flatliners, and they're a punk band from Richmond Hill, but like essentially our area. I remember I was going to be running a show in Burlington that they were going to be playing. And my band was playing too. That's why I was running it. But like they were playing in Hamilton like a month or 2 earlier. So I asked, hey, like, can you put me on the guest list so I can go there and just send out flyers or hand out flyers for my show coming up, you know, the show that you're playing. So like, yeah, sure, you can come. So I go to this Hamilton show, and there was maybe 2 other people in the room. And what I didn't realize was they had advertised ahead of time that they were only going to play their new upcoming album. And I guess the fans did not like the sound, or like no one came out. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this thing, and I'm like, this is awful. And now I love it. Now it's my favorite album of theirs. But they had changed their sound so hard. They had just shifted directions. And I just remember at the time being like, this is not at all what I came out for. And it sucks when artists are kind of like that. Like, hopefully you get a good balance. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've thought about this when it comes to bands, and like, you do kind of pigeonhole yourself into like a type of sound. And to do that shift, you risk like your entire audience just being like, nope, you're done. And like, you could try to go back, but it's a big risk, right? And like Incubus was like that. They were one of my favorite bands growing up, and they switched sounds. They switched sounds a lot in the type of music that they played, and it worked really well for them. But yeah, if you're a band, like just trying to change your sound, I feel like is a risky endeavor. And that then kind of sucks because you, as a creative individual or group, you're like, let's try something new. And you all discover this new thing and it's cool. But then like your audience is like, that's not what we want from you right now. And then you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah. You know, I've definitely seen artists in that situation, and you can tell because it's like they're not passionate about that sound anymore. And they'll put out
Right.
albums that are still that sound, but
Right.
like they're just not as good. And like you can tell there's just no love, or it's missing that X factor. And I don't know. But then you have bands where they do try something new and it's just awful. Like I don't know if you two would remember when Nickelback tried to do a disco song. That was bad. They needed to stick with what they know. And I don't even like Nickelback, but like they're good at what they do. Like I will objectively say, but that was not what they do. They tried.
Disco?
Didn't work. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, back to overrated, underrated.
That was the longest.
That was the longest.
And so the answer was accurate
Accurately, accurately
for Ed
rated.
Sheeran. Okay.
He actually answered that almost immediately, and then we went on to like a 20-minute tangent about music. So this was gonna be quick.
Okay.
Punk music.
It's underrated. I think it's the best music. It's Fat Mike from NoFX has said this. It is the best music played by like the sloppiest of people, and it's true. It's not always the tightest stuff, but it is. So at least the punk that I like to listen to, so full of melody, so full of energy. You can have political songs that just say some of the biggest, most important messages I've heard, and then you can have silly punk songs that are just for fun, and all genres can have that kind of stuff. But I think it's underrated. I think that more people should check out that genre. It doesn't have to be as aggressive as people may think. But now pop punk is kind of becoming popular again, so maybe more people are.
I don't listen to it a lot, but like whenever I have, or whenever you've showed me some songs, I remember in high school you showed me some stuff. Like I loved it. Like it was good stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Underrated.
I think one of the things is like production quality held back punk for a while. It was such a DIY underground thing, so it wouldn't always sound the best. So a lot of people just write it off because of that. They're like, this sounds like trash.
Yeah, punk sounds terrible. But that's
now,
not. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's so like one of the my favorite albums of modern times has been Turnstile. They put out this album Glow On in 2021, and it was a massive hit. Like they were playing Lollapalooza and like what's the big one kind of indie festival? Coachella. Yeah, they were playing Coachella and stuff, and like everyone's vibing with this. Like they were able to take hardcore punk and infuse it with like hip hop and dance and Latin music, and it's wild. Like they just wash it all with reverb and make it just sound so airy, and it's just like I didn't even think punk could kind of go to these places. And it's honestly, anyone listening should go check out Glow On by Turnstile, because everyone I've shown it to has said, you're right, I love it. And it's a punk album, but it's not what you think about punk. It's not that like thrashy, always at 11 kind of thing. Like punk can have layers.
That's sweet. Is Paramore punk?
Yeah, I mean, they're pop punk, but, well, yeah, like they had one album where they kind of deviated and were more indie. But yeah, I would definitely put them under the punk umbrella.
Okay. Yeah, that's
what do
I
you
thought.
think?
That's what
Would
I
you
thought.
call them punk?
Yeah. I initially thought that, and then I was like, actually, are they?
Pop punk is probably more accurate, but
But that's a branch
that's
of
a branch of
the punk umbrella,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Overrated, underrated. Redhead.
Well, you're asking a redhead, so I'm going to say underrated.
They're
But,
underrated.
What makes them so good?
I'll put it this way. I think that redheads are like more attractive. So I don't know. I think like when you have something that it's more like you can dye your hair, but that natural red, like it's more unique. Something about that just makes you pay attention and it stands out. And I don't know. But then I know there are people who think that we don't have souls and stuff like that. So
Well, they stopped taking donations.
Well, is that
sperm
true?
donations.
You tell us. Do you have a soul?
I don't know. I'm pretty soul. Well, I mean that's a whole other question, but no, I don't know. I'll say accurately rated.
Redheads are accurately rated?
Well, because redheads,
I'm into redheads.
We have
I like
problems with sunburns and stuff like that. It's not all great. Like there's definite downsides to being more fair
Oh,
skinned.
yeah.
I guess.
Overrated then. Redheads are overrated. You can't deal with the sun.
Yeah.
You're overrated.
Overrated.
But we're so sexy.
I don't even know where they're rated now, so I don't know if that's.
I think something too that I read is that redheads tend to keep more of their hair, not the color, but just like the hair itself, so they don't go as bald. So in that regards, that's kind of underrated. Less balding.
Maybe it's because you avoid the sun or
Oh yeah, true.
whatever other things redheads do. This is so dumb. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So underrated. Okay. Ripped jeans.
Overrated. I don't know. Like, they're coming back in a big way, and I hate them. I don't know. To me, it just screams like juvenile. I think it's okay if you're a teen, but like seeing like, I don't know, adults with the ripped jean kind of look. I'm sorry if you like it, if you wear it, it's just not for me. Overrated.
Thought you wore a lot of ripped jeans.
As a teenager, yeah.
Okay.
But
I would say naturally ripped jeans is cool. But if you buy a pair of jeans that are pre-ripped from the factory, I think that's not cool.
What if they got like a child to run and fall multiple times on their knees and it naturally ripped?
Wait, like
At the factory?
like an adult
Then that
pair
is
of jeans
very
they're
cool.
putting on children? So now we're doing child labor.
Yeah, but it's still cool. It's still
Well,
very
that's
cool.
what makes
That's
it
even more
cool, because
cool,
we're breaking the
actually.
law
Yeah.
now.
That's the coolest type of jeans you can have.
The most underrated jeans there are. You can never overrate those jeans. They're so cool. Oh, overrated, underrated. Cleats for Frisbee.
Cleats, I don't know, accurately rated? I feel like everyone knows that they're good. You should have them. I agree.
Do you have cleats? I put that in there because I thought you didn't use them.
No, when we were playing more seriously, like after I actually don't know if I had cleats for high school. I may not have then, but when we were playing like our UFC team in the purple, I had some cleats then.
Oh, okay.
But I definitely believe in cleats. I just may be cheap. I just may not have owned them.
Do redheads believe in cleats though?
Well, it's kind of linked to the whole souls thing. No, I don't know.
How could you? There has to be nobody that thinks cleats are bad, right? Like,
Yeah, like
sliding can't be a good thing.
Yeah, you must not play sports if you think cleats are overrated.
You must not know how cleats and sports work.
Or you play hockey. And only
Yeah.
hockey. Although cleats on ice is probably better than shoes?
No,
Well, the metal ones. The metal ones would be better.
because they'll
Wouldn't
stick
they?
into the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, unless they don't stick
Like a
into the
team
ice.
of hockey players
They're
with
not-
cleats,
but the cleats aren't-
versus a team with shoes.
Cleats aren't like sharp though, are they? Like, I don't think I've ever had metal cleats. Are they sharp?
Mm.
Because if they're not sharp and they're like dull enough to slip on the ice, that would be like
Worse.
What
that
about
would be
like
way
with?
worse.
Aren't there like golf shoes that have like spikes on them, or like you put that in your shoe, like the
Yeah.
little spikes?
Yeah, but my golf shoes are all plastic.
Yeah, mine are plastic too.
Plastic, yeah. I don't
Better
know.
for the ground, but worse traction.
That's why, man. Gives me an extra
Which
swing
team
and-
would perform better? The like frisbee team wearing cleats on ice, or the hockey team wearing skates on a grass field? Like, which would be
Which sport are they playing?
the respective sports?
yeah? But in
So
their
like
original
the frisbee
shoes.
team plays hockey against the hockey team
On skates.
on skates, and then the hockey team plays frisbee on skates.
They
on
both
a
lose
field.
very hard.
Yeah, but who loses worse?
I think it's equal. Who can you score more goals than you can frisbee points?
I
the
just
same amount
think
of
you're
time?
screwed with
think-
skates on grass.
Yeah,
like,
I
wouldn't
think
you
frisbee-
just
Yeah, but you
sink
have
right in?
traction. No, like it would sit on the grass. And you'd still
Yeah,
be
but you
able
need
to
to
run.
get a puck in the net. A puck in the net might be harder to get with everyone just standing around the net. Versus an end zone is massive. And hockey players on skates on a field? You could walk.
If
and
we
then
got
they'd
the
get right.
disc, if I got the disc somehow, which I would get it every time you scored a point,
Yeah.
we control the disc, and I could, in theory, get it around you because you have possession. And possession, at least now you have control of the game. If you're cleats on ice, I will be able to take the puck from you like no, there's no problem. And you won't be able
yeah.
to score because
Is there contact? Because then there's nothing. There's like no chance you even deal in hockey.
I don't know.
I
Then maybe
say
you can't have content.
skates on the field
Win.
is better than cleats on ice.
That's amazing.
Final answer.
That's amazing. Well, you're wrong.
Oh,
Let's throw to the video footage.
What's that show? 1,000 Ways to Die, and then they like put it up. They're like, oh, let's put a ninja versus a monk or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then they
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
fight.
Oh,
Is it
yeah,
1,000
yeah.
Ways to Die?
something like that.
No, that's a different one. It's a different one. I forget what that one is.
I would watch like a YouTube version called like Death Battle, where they'd be like Superman versus Goku.
Right.
Like, who
Or
could
the
win?
weapons one where there was like spear versus musket or whatever. And it would like, but like the musket was inaccurate, or like the guy would get hit and would still be able to come and spear you to death. So it's like, it wasn't as lopsided as you think.
They both miss their shot, but this guy's got a musket with a knife at the end.
Was that a bayonet?
Yeah.
Bayonet, yeah. Okay, and this is the last one I have listed.
Oh, okay.
Overrated, underrated, selling out.
Overrated. Yeah, don't sell out. Don't sell out. I don't know. I feel like sure you could get the money and all that, but you need your integrity. You need to keep the integrity high. I don't know.
Okay, so I just want to set the stage here. I just want to set the stage a little.
Wait a second. Is selling out highly rated right now? I don't understand. It seems
Yeah,
like the
think it's highly
term
rated.
selling out is like a bad thing.
It usually
Right,
has a
the term
negative
is, yeah.
connotation.
So,
But the results is not a bad thing.
yeah. Okay.
So I think most people take it.
So it's
If given-
highly rated.
If given the chance, yeah.
The thing is,
Do you see why I think this is a weird concept?
I think for the individual.
Okay,
You know,
wait.
if they're happy
let
with
me
their-
let me set the stage.
Okay.
So this is way back to a conversation we were having. I don't know. We're at a bar somewhere eating wings, and Mike was there, my cousin.
We
And
were in
Dave
a
was-
van.
Pardon?
We were in van in your parking lot or in your driveway.
Okay. And then Dave was talking about how we would never sell out. And Mike loves like to hear something and then just like put everything against it to
Right.
try to break you, right?
Yeah.
So then he heard Dave say that and he's like, what are you talking about? You never sell out. And then Dave was just like, oh, like some labels like make you play a song without taking your shirt off. Like you're not allowed to ever take your shirt off. And my drummer loves to take his shirt off. We would never sell out. I'm not signing a contract that says you can't take your shirt off. And Mike was like, what if the contract says $1 million in cash right now and you just have to keep your shirt on? And Dave was like, absolutely not. There's no way I'm making my drummer wear a shirt. And then it was just like went from there. So that's like why I'm asking this question.
Well, I mean, I was also like, 19 or 20
Yeah, so
at
I wanted
that
to see
time,
if-
so
I wanted to see if it changed.
I think it definitely would change, but like not a lot. Like the thing is, I still think that selling out like kind of sucks, or in the long run, it's not the right decision for an artist. Like if we're talking about as a musical artist or any kind of artist, really, that individual, sure, they may be happy with their decision, but I think when you look at like the fans and stuff, like the people who support this person, usually for an artist, like their sellout albums don't end up becoming their most popular or regarded as like their best. People may be like, oh, the earlier stuff or their
But
early
like,
years.
okay,
or-
here's what I need to understand is like, what is the actual definition of selling out? Is it you agree to whatever benefits it is, if it's monetary or whatever, probably monetary, that goes against, and you agree to that by going against like one of your core values or something? Because like, when you sign a contract with a big label or something and they're like, look, you can't say like, you can't promote Nazi propaganda. And you're like, okay, is that selling out by being like, well, I want to say whatever I want. So like, it's like, well, no, because that's not against your core values or whatever, right?
I think for me, like this is the age old debate, like especially in the like punk and stuff, where they are such gatekeepers and elitists and stuff. For me, what it kind of means is, that you're making a decision with your music or just your career that you're doing for the benefit of and it doesn't just have to be financial gain, but like it's something that you're doing that you wouldn't choose on your own. You know, you're doing it because this is what is expected of you. It could be by a label or by fans or by just the public, by the mainstream audience. Like you're trying to appeal to them rather than I'm writing music that I want to write, or like I'm going to say my message. All of a sudden, if your lyrics, you're saying a message that, you know, you're trying to put yourself. I mean, I don't know. I'm articulating this poorly.
I know, but my kind of point here is like, what? Like, isn't it too difficult to define like what selling
It
out
totally is, yeah.
Like, just because like if someone starts singing about something different or whatever, and you're like, oh man, you sold out because you signed this record label deal, and like you're trying to appeal to everybody, and like the guy just like maybe that's actually what they wanted to sing about, and it turns out, and everyone's like, oh, you sold out. He's like, yeah, I sold out, but it was like maybe that's actually just what they wanted to sing about, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, and I think that this even goes to the topic we were talking about earlier, where like sometimes, you know, a band, they may just want to try a new sound. That's naturally like
right.
we change as we get older, you know, like, and there's you hopefully do change. Like if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you've had no growth or you haven't learned anything, that's not a good thing. And you know, we should expect the same from our bands and musicians or artists, you know, actors or writers or poets, everything. But yet we don't. We're so much like, you got to stay that way.
Right,
and if you
right.
change, you sold out. And, you know, I think you really got to take it on a case-by-case basis. But that's why, you know, I think that, you know, back then, at that age, at 20 or whatever, when we were having that conversation, I would have said, like, anything is selling out. I would have been too, you know, quick to make that call. Now
like
I think...
anything?
Well, I would have been like almost anything, like, oh, like you signed to a major label, that's a sellout. Now I wouldn't say that that's an automatic
really?
sellout.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it could just be, you know, you're just successful. That was always your goal, you know? But like,
Right.
that's not the way I saw it before. It was like such a narrow lens,
yeah.
right? But,
Okay.
you know, I think that, you know, if you can, you know, determine that like this decision was made or this art was made not out of, you know, your passion or musical integrity, but out of trying to sell a product or something that like, you know, I don't like, but they will like. That's lame. And that's, I would say, overrated. Yeah.
I still don't really know what it means to sell out. Like, unless we're talking about the obvious, which is like you sign a record label deal and they're like, sing about Barbie because we need to sell Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously that's selling out because that's ridiculous. But like, I feel like almost anything in between that is like, you signed to not piss on the stage. It's like, okay, that's not really selling out, is it? It's like, you signed up to do too many shows than what you really would have wanted. Is that really selling out? Like, they're giving you a lot of money to do something. You know what I mean? Like, it seems so like
Right.
arbitrary.
I know, and it is, and that's what's so hard or difficult, I think, about the conversation always, because the thing too is that audiences tend to put their own feelings or thoughts or beliefs onto artists and stuff, and it's like maybe they intended from age 14 when they started, you know, recording or trying to be a musician that they always wanted to play
They're going to
Wembley
stop
Stadium.
pissing on stage at a certain age, and that's just
Exactly.
What a
They
sellout. Man, I miss the piss.
But it's just interesting that like if an artist were to go play Wembley Stadium or something, and it'd be like, oh, what a sellout. But it's like maybe that was their dream the whole time, and like you just don't know, you know. It's hard to say, and that's why, like, you know, I think artists, they need to ultimately decide for themselves and not let the noise of everything else get to them. Easier said than done. But that's, you know, the conversations about selling out nowadays, I just find it so like, it's just so stupid, because it's exactly what you said. Like, it's like, how do you define it? Or like, you know, who is in charge of drawing these lines? I don't know. But there are some cases where it's blatant, and when you can tell, it's like, that's lame. That's overrated. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not saying that every case is a case of selling out.
Yeah, like I'm just sitting here
And
trying to think of like what are some examples of even selling out.
there's probably really good examples out there where it's like, yeah, this band sucks because they agreed to do this, and like that was a really
like
greedy
Dave
thing
Grohl
to do.
did like acne cream or something commercials. Would that be selling out?
I mean, if you were to ask me, I think Dave Grohl has already sold out, but I think that he was kind of by design, like that's what he wanted to do.
How did he sell out? I'm curious.
Well, so you look at his early career, and he was in, I think it was called Scream, the band, and it's like just this very, like underground hardcore punk band and stuff. He's coming from West Virginia, but really like was around the Washington, like DIY straight edge scene and stuff. And I think he ended up moving out to the West Coast, and that's how he met like the Nirvana guys. But like Nirvana, they did sell out, in my opinion. And, this is where I'm like, my opinions change because I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think that, it definitely, their music, well, they were interesting because then they did In Utero where they kind of returned to form and that didn't do as well. But like you listen to an album like Nevermind, and that is not what Nirvana sounds like live. That does not represent them at all. But it was such an important album. It opened up the doors for like all these other bands and where then maybe they didn't have to sell out, or some of them did, because the labels were just.
What do you mean
racing.
by sell out in this regard? Like, how did Nirvana sell out?
So Nirvana, I would say, sold out because they changed their sound. What they were putting out was not representative of who they were and what they do. You would hear this album, and then there are cases of people going to shows and like leaving early. They're just like, this is too much noise. This is too raw. This is too, like he's just yelling on stage, like not screaming like the words, but just literally being like, and like that is Nirvana. That's what they do. You listen to an album like In Utero and you get more of that. You get that rawness, and people didn't love that album a lot at first. It commercially didn't do as well. But if you ask me, that's the better album. And not just because it's raw or whatever, but like it's more Nirvana than Nevermind. Nevermind has a lot more pop sensibilities and production, which isn't a bad thing, but I can kind of hear that being influenced onto Kurt Cobain or the band than it was them being like, this is what we're going to make or what we want to do. And I think it's very evident when you hear their next album where they leave Butch Vig, who was the big kind of, pop rock producer at that time, and he still is a good producer, but then they go to Steve Albini, who he had worked with Fugazi. He worked with many bands, but like I always said, Fugazi is one of my favorite bands, and I think they are, the band who held their integrity the best in the whole history of music, or modern music. And they worked with a producer like Steve Albini. Nirvana went to Steve Albini because he lets the artist be themselves. And that was the thing, was that Nirvana, they could have had a lot of success still, I think, like being underground, but they were given this opportunity to go mainstream and have someone be more in charge of their music, and they went for it. And I think that coming out of that, Dave Grohl, the original question about Dave Grohl selling out was, you even look at Foo Fighters, and it was like, oh, well, I'm not going to make a band and, like play the shows and do the work. He was like, I'm just going to record all these instruments myself and then use my connections, radio stations, just to like get it played, to jump the ladder, to go to, like the top, which to me, that's like a sellout move. It's not necessarily a bad thing. He had, that opportunity. And like I said, I think that especially now Foo Fighters are such an important band for rock, that there's not that many there. And, had they not have been such a pillar early on, who knows if they still be around today. So it's so weird that like, here I am saying, I don't mind that he sold out.
Well,
but, yeah.
I guess part of the definition of selling out is you need to understand what the intentions of the people are. Like, from a third party perspective, you can say Nirvana sold out, or from a third party perspective, you could say that the Foo Fighters sold out. But like, if that was their intention, was like, hey, we want to go mainstream so that this hits more ears and our grungy sound won't work, which I'm not saying it will or wouldn't, but if they were like, this is what we want to accomplish and this is what we do, and they do that, like, that's not really then necessarily selling out. And like, if that's what Dave Grohl's intention was, is like, I just want to be a huge rock band, and I want to play pop rock songs, and he just did it. It's not really selling out, then, is it? Right?
Well, so that's why I kind of brought up that like early stages of his life, where from his early days, it didn't seem like, you can look at some interviews, and you can even, I think he's got some journals he's put out and stuff like that, and you can see how that wasn't originally where he was coming from. that it seemed like that changed, after the success happened to him. But what I would say more to that, if we're talking about Nirvana, we know for a fact, like firsthand from Kurt Cobain's journals, he hated the fame. He did not want it. He resented it immediately, and that's a part of why he ultimately killed himself. Like he couldn't handle all the pressure, all the stress, all the attention and stuff, and he just wanted to make music his way, and he felt like he had lost control of that. So I think for sure, like Nirvana sold out. I don't think it's. I mean, now it's weird because I was saying maybe it is a bad thing because we lost Kurt Cobain. I don't know. There's so many variables to it. It's so hard. It's not black and white, but like it's just interesting to think about it in those terms. It's very easy to just this is the new song and just try to digest it. But when you're like, what is the artist saying with this? How does this compare to their previous work? What have they said before? Like it's sometimes it requires more you as an individual putting more work into it as a listener. Not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone cares. Some people just want to have a good time and let the song wash over them. But I think for me, the reason why I've put more thought or attention into this topic is because I consider myself a musical artist.
And you've sold out, and so you know exactly what that's
I wanted to know how to do it.
A lot of research.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's to each their own. Like I think ultimately what we've said is that there is no hard definition, and everyone seems to set it for themselves. And really, like each person's just got to put in the effort and see how much they care. And at the end of the day, too, like I used to be like, oh, if they were a sellout, instantly I hate that artist. But now it's like I don't know. Not even that I would say. I remember that debate with Mike. Avril Lavigne came up, and I don't even know if now I would call Avril Lavigne a sellout. But like I love her music. Like put it on. I'm still gonna bop to it, So when I was 20, I wouldn't have even considered it as listenable music. So
because she quote unquote sold out.
Yeah, I was very more gatekeeper, elitist, and that kind of stuff. And as I got older, I learned that like that doesn't help anyone. Like I was just saying, I think punk is great music. I want to invite more people into it. I want to keep people out of it. I don't want to say like, oh, that's not punk, or you got the wrong idea. These are sellouts. Like, no, if you like it, listen to it, and everyone will draw their own line.
Right. I wanted to say one thing about Dave Grohl because I just finished listening to his audiobook, and it really didn't come across like he was selling out. He was just like talking about his journey about making the music himself, and he was like, "Yeah, I did this like as a kid. Like, I just had 2 tape recorders, and I just like taped 2 different things and like put the things together, and I just like kept taping it over and over and over on just a single cassette." He's like, I would tape the drums and then like rewind, record. Sorry, he didn't have 2. He just had 1. But like he would rewind it and then tape the drums and then rewind it, tape the guitar. And then he would just do that. And then he just fell into doing that again as an adult. And it was like, he was like doing like 2 different projects at once. I forget what he was doing. But that was it. Like when he was recording his own thing. It never really came across as something out. And now that's interesting that's obviously I'm hearing it from his mouth. So it's like exceptionally biased.
I've heard the same things that he was like, I think the reason why he recorded each of the pieces because he didn't have anybody else to do the rest. And he was like, I'll just do the guitar and I'll sing on it and I'll do the drums or whatever. Because he knew how he wanted it to sound. And just like,
it. Yeah. He's exceptionally controlling.
I think that first Foo Fighters album is a great album. And I don't think the way it was recorded was like a sellout thing. What I was trying to say was like what he did with it after having recorded it. Like the fact that it was like, oh, I'm not going to test this or like put in the groundwork like with the band playing some shows. And it was just like, boom, jump like all the ladders kind of. And let's get it on the radio. When initially these songs were written as an outlet for him to, after Kurt Cobain died, he just was like,
he wrote his own stuff. Yeah.
I need to say something. I need to do something. And it was like, it didn't seem like the purpose of these songs was to make a ton of money. So that's why to me it feels like, but it doesn't, that's what you did with
just because he does become famous and make a lot of money with it doesn't mean that like that's his only goal. Like he wants to make music, he wants to play shows, he wants to be in the scene, he wants to have fans and all that stuff. Like he wants what a rock band has. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's money involved and stuff, but I don't think it was like, you're kind of making it sound like he's like, I just want to make a fuck ton of money.
Well, not like just that, but like I think what I'm trying to
If you
get
had
at is,
connections
like,
to radio stations and like could get your music out there and stuff, like wouldn't you do it?
for sure, but like I think like I've seen other artists do it. A band like Audioslave, let's say, where you had what was his name, Chris Cornell from which grunge band was that? Is it Stone Temple Pilots or something? But then you've got like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, and I think it was also another member, like a drummer or bassist from Rage Against the Machine. But anyways, it's kind of like a super group. And yeah, like they had their songs on the radio right away, but I also remember how they were playing like smaller club shows. They weren't going straight to the stadium or the bigger things. And like I remember where, like even their with their album and stuff, it was like something about like with the vinyl, like it came later. Like it didn't seem like it was all about just selling and marketing and making like, money off this right now kind of thing. Like they seemed in it for the long haul. And I don't know, I look at like Dave Grohl and some of his earlier work or some of his earlier stuff, and it seemed like his decision making when it came to, or his reason for pursuing music wasn't financial. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, because we all have to make a living, and there's nothing wrong with like musicians. That's a career for sure. But I think like it's just about, when you create a band or you're putting yourself out there, you're becoming, really vulnerable with people. And so to change your message, I think that's what upsets people, when it's like, oh, like you seem to only care about music integrity, and now you're making decisions with the financial, gain in mind. It's not your only reason. It's been added as a reason. But like, I don't know, if you look at it like, oh, we only have 100% capacity, and now, maybe like a percentage of that is now about financial gain. And I don't know if
I feel like you're making an assumption, and I don't know. So maybe I shouldn't even be talking about this because I'm not an expert on this, but I feel like you're making an assumption that he was driven by money at all here.
I do want to mention one thing. Like I was just watching some interview with him with Howard Stern, and Howard was like, "How much money did you actually make from Nirvana? Like, did you ever need to work again?" And then Dave was like, "No, I never needed to work again."
Mm-hmm.
And he was the drummer. Like no one really knew him, right? It's like it's all Kurt. And then Howard was trying to figure out like how much money he had. And he's like, "Did you have $100 million in the bank?" He's like, "No." He's like, 50, 20. 10. And then Dave was like, yeah, probably around like 10 to 15. He had like 10 to 15 million already before he even made like.
So like money probably wasn't a.
That's why I wanted to mention that, because like I don't feel like it was money was the ultimate goal. Like he was already loaded.
But I think the best thing for this argument is, well, look at Chris Novoselic, their bassist. He made a lot of music in different bands and collaborated with different artists and stuff. But like he was, almost just as busy as Dave Grohl, but yet like he didn't try to push himself like right in everyone's faces and really like market it, like I don't want to say Foo Fighters was like a pure money thing and that it was pure marketing, but like that was part of what they were doing. They wanted to build this band up and really, like get out there and
he wanted to be a big band. Like, I don't know if that's money driven at all, or if it's just like, I want to, and also like he had faith in the album that he put together, which was a great album. Right.
I agree.
So like, I don't know that it was ever financially motivated in that, and from that standpoint of selling it, but maybe from the standpoint of like,
I just see like,
while we're here, why not?
I just see like as I was mentioning with Nirvana, there was a point where they took that giant leap, and I look at that as like when they sold out, and where someone like Chris Novoselic kind of went back to the point where he was comfortable originally. Like Dave Grohl stayed up here, and that's where I'm saying like he just maintained the selloutness. Like I don't think Foo Fighters is a huge sellout band. I'm not trying to say that, but what I'm saying is that like there definitely is a portion of that, or it occurred, and he kept that as part of his motivations. Not the sole motivation. They would not be a band I would at all like first point to like, oh, a sellout. That's them. But like, if you were to ask me, did they sell out or were they kind of riding that momentum? Like for sure. But it doesn't matter. These songs are great. These, I love watching them live, and they're so important to the history of rock.
Hits. Man, Foo Fighters are so good.
They have so many good songs. And then if you listen to like any individual album, they just have like, he just knows how to write really good songs. I could just pick any song from any one of his albums and you just listen to it. Like, man,
What's crazy, because his talking voice and his singing voice is so crazy different. Like, his singing voice is amazing. His talking voice is, like, very, like, up here, and he's just very gentle with it, and it's so bizarre, the difference.
I find that
so
with Billy Joe from Green Day. To me, that's the biggest one, where I'm like, you don't, like, especially when he acts, you watch a whole movie of him talking, and it's like, I can't stand your voice. You sound awful. But then you listen to the songs, and you're like, this is amazing.
You know
he
who's
almost
the
sounds British.
biggest that I've ever heard is Shaggy. Have you ever heard Shaggy talk?
Mm-hmm.
He sounds like a white man. Yeah, he doesn't
oh,
sound
so it's
like...
literally just a voice that he does for this
It's
song?
an act.
Yeah, completely.
persona.
Like, his voice is not that low at all.
Does he always sing like that, or is it just that one
I
song?
think he sing like, yeah, it's all his songs are like that.
That's
As far as I
strange.
know.
I don't know if all his music's like that, but I'll say every song I've heard from him.
Right,
has
all
been
his
like
big
that.
hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, all his big hits.
There's nothing wrong with that. If he sounds good while doing it, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's just
jarring?
completely different. It's kind of like who does Informer?
Snow?
Snow. Yeah, like he's so cool though.
All right. Overrated, underrated.
Snow.
Snow.
The artist.
The artist.
Underrated.
Netflix.
Ooh, that's a great question. Ouch.
I got
I'm
my
gonna
answer.
say it is now overrated. I think that had you have asked me like a year or two ago, I would have said equally rated or underrated.
Do you remember I asked you a couple years ago?
Did you?
We were at, I think it was.
Actually, I do
I think it was
remember.
one of your hot pots, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, maybe.
And we were talking about like Disney Plus
And it was
stuff,
Disney
too.
just announced their streaming service was coming out like the next year, and Netflix had been around for like a couple years and it was like killing it, obviously. And and we were talking about it, and I was like, man, Disney's coming into the scene, and like Disney's big, and you're like, Disney ain't got nothing on Netflix. Like, Netflix has all the originals. Netflix is streaming everything. Like, it's so good and whatever. And I was like, Disney's got a lot of properties, though. They just bought, I think it was just at that time, or actually, I guess it was a while before that. They bought Star Wars, and they got Marvel, and they've got all this stuff. It was all coming together. I was like, and they're going to start streaming this stuff? It's like, Disney's big, man.
So I recall the conversation being the opposite, where I think you were saying that Netflix would still be around, and I was like, there's no way, because Disney now owns 20th Century Fox. Like, they're going to blow them out of the water.
There's no way, because that's exactly what I was arguing. And I was like, they just got Fox. I'm pretty sure I said they owned like 60% of all media now.
Yeah.
And you're like, whatever, man. They've got Stranger Things, and they got, I can't remember her name.
You're,
I was like,
probably right, because my memory...
Well, I mean, that you just gave the same answer, right? You just said now they're overrated, but a few years ago you would have said
yeah,
underrated.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, and the reason why I say sort of now is because I'm very concerned with like the recent stuff that happened with strikes and with AI and all of this stuff. And Netflix seems to be going like all in on that. And I'm not about it. I don't know.
They're going all in on what?
AI. So they just or not just, they did this like a couple months ago, but they got some AI like program, and they hired some AI manager and stuff, and they basically admitted like, yeah, we're going to be using this in our productions moving forward.
Like for writing or something like that.
Even like for background actor, like everything that they were worried about, the reasons they were striking, they didn't want their identity stolen or to be used and defaced after they've passed away or things like that. Even with the writing though, you're right, like creating stories or, just writing even like smaller parts of the script or things like that. But Netflix was basically like, yeah, this is going to be part of our model moving forward. And I don't like the idea of that. The other thing is I think Netflix in the past year or two have really just turned out too much schlock. Like they really just amped up their original productions, and they're really more now quantity over quality. Whereas like 5 years ago, maybe when we had that conversation, I would have thought maybe it was the opposite, where they were doing more quality and not enough quantity maybe.
That's funny because my
So, I don't
answer
know.
would be Netflix is now underrated. Now they are. Because everyone was like, oh, screw Netflix, like cancel subscriptions. Like we're not allowed to like share accounts now. Like everyone canceled, right? And everyone's just like going hard against Netflix. But I think they have so much good content still. And they're still coming out with pretty good content. Not obviously amazing as they did, but they still have some really good stuff like that Life on Planet Earth or whatever that just came out. It's like crazy production. I think Spielberg did it. Is it Spielberg?
Could be. But
I think he's the executive producer. And like they just have some really, really cool stuff coming out. I also am a huge fan of their garbage TV. There's like a bunch of their
like the
reality shows.
Yeah.
And I actually like them a lot. But yeah, I think it's underrated. I think they come out with a lot of good shows. And I'm on Disney and like, man, there's not that many good shows.
But now,
yeah, wait till Billy's a little bit older. Because
The movies are good.
everything is good, man.
But
They got great shows. They got great movies for kids. And
I don't know, man. Trash Truck is amazing on Netflix.
yeah, Trash Truck
Paw
is good.
Patrol, incredible.
Blippy, it's great.
Blippi's okay.
who's got the Wiggles? Any live
I
concerts?
don't know. haven't
Wiggles
seen
is
it.
on Netflix.
I haven't seen
I don't.
it.
I don't
Awesome.
think all
Point
of
for
it's on.
Netflix. There you go. Underrated now.
We've seen them live twice.
And are they overrated or
They
underrated?
sold the fuck out.
But did they sound like the album?
They're sweet. That's a
Or were
fun
they
show.
improvising with the kids?
They improvise.
See,
You
there
bring
we
your
go. Even the
signs,
Wiggles
and then they
know.
bring all the signs up on stage, and then they read all the signs.
See,
How many
even
of
the
them
Wiggles
are there?
know?
I've actually never even seen a picture of them.
Like there's 5 of them.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was 4. But you would know though. I don't know
I
kids.
wouldn't know. There's 4 or 5 of them that are like the main people, and then at least during their live performance, there's like a bunch of extra Wiggles around to help them with stuff. That like run around the audience and like collect the signs and like will help with playing some of the music and sing some of the songs, whatever all that stuff. But it's a good time for kids.
But like, I feel a few years ago, just going back to like the whole Netflix thing, you know, it really was just a question of that, like Netflix versus Disney. But now I feel like, I don't know, you can get Crave with HBO Plus,
is-
and then there's Hulu, and like there's all these.
This is the biggest problem is that like now all content is dispersed and we're back to the reason why we didn't want cable, which is
Yeah.
cable was so expensive. If you want all the content, you just have to buy all these subscription services. It's like more than cable is now. And it's like,
And you're going to get a lot of stuff you don't care about.
you know, a lot of stuff you don't care about. I don't know. I at this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like the only reason why I would probably bet against Netflix is like, I don't think it's sustainable what they're doing.
I agree.
I don't think that they're naturally a good content producing company. If they're making small quantities of stuff, I think anybody could be good at it. But when you have to produce a lot, because that's what people are demanding, if you want me to pay $22 a month or whatever the hell it costs, it better be a lot of good content. So they're trying to keep up with that, and I don't think they can. Whereas at least a company like Disney, like they just know how to do that because they've done it for like 100 years or whatever it is. So
And they got more money to
that's
do
the only reason why I would bet that way. But I also feel like there also needs to be some sort of convergence. Like I wonder if like a third party streaming thing is going to come and be like, you pay $35 a month and you get Disney, Apple, and Netflix in this one streaming service or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would ever agree to doing something like that, but like, unless something like that happens, like I don't know how it's going to work.
It's so interesting when you look at like music versus, you know, like TV and movies, because you can have Spotify where pretty much everything's on there. You know, like it's not like, oh, I need Spotify and a
Right.
different service and a different service. And
Oh, could you imagine if you signed up for music streaming services and they didn't have
Yeah.
some
the
of the
Beatles.
music you wanted?
The Beatles is only on Spotify. Yeah.
Is Beatles only on Spotify?
No,
Oh,
I,
you were-
yeah,
that's an
I
example,
was saying
okay.
that would suck if that was the case.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, I guess it was like that. Like Netflix kind of was the only, or at least the biggest one that had most everything, and it has changed. And I wonder if that will happen then to music, but I just don't know how, you know, artists profit off this though. That's the sustainability I'm worried about, both with like Netflix, like digital streaming, but also like music streaming. I don't know. It's, to me, I just don't see how it's sustainable. Those are sustainable in the long run, but
Like
I don't think we're going back to physical media.
wasn't making making money off of music never good in the actual albums? Like I always hear these like horror stories of like, you know how many albums Michael Jackson sold of Thriller, and it's like 30 bajillion. And it's like, you know how much money he made? He made like $10 million.
Well-
and you're like, what the fuck?
A
Like,
lot of that is usually just because of the splits, where it's like, oh, the label gets 90%.
okay, so like it's
kind of thing.
what I'm saying is like it's always been shit making money off of.
But the
music
difference
in
now is
sense.
that like just no one's making money off of it. It's just like there's less money
But-
being made. Like it's sure it may not be going in the artist's pocket, but at least before, like money, there was revenue. There
At
was
least the
like
big cats were making
well, I just
stacks.
mean I just mean that like there was the potential for artists to get properly paid.
If-
they weren't
yeah,
always,
right.
but like in some cases they were. Like I remember that was a big thing Tom Petty like fought for. He went to
Right.
courts over that about like the percentages and the rights and this and that. And so like some artists were well compensated. But now it's like when Taylor Swift is saying like all my Spotify streams for 1 month was like $4,000. It's like, how is that all you made off of like
that
millions of
Is that real?
yeah, she's gone to fight Spotify. She's posted like her, forget what it's called in the States, because like here it's SoCan or whatever, but she's been like, this is all I made from all these streams. Like it doesn't make sense. It's fractions of a penny. Like radio play at least would give you like 10 cents per play or something, or depending on, it could be like $1 per play. Or
Well, I guess if it is true that the assumption is artists never made money off of the listening anyways, and they don't now, at least now it's easier for artists to get noticed and recognized, right? You don't have to go through labels. You can literally just make music and put it on Spotify, and if it's popular, it's popular. And at least then you can target like making shows and making money off of shows and stuff, right?
So this is really interesting because it kind of now comes back to the sellout part, which is like for artists up until the pandemic. I mean, things are really weird now afterwards, but like the tour was where they made a lot of their money. And part of that was like selling merchandise. And then that's a whole other thing where some people would say like that's selling out because now you're like a product, But it was like, this is what we need to do to be able to make the next album. Like if we
Right.
just want to be able to say our message and make our noise, sing our song, we got to pay our way. And so it's really interesting how that all kind of plays into each other. But yeah, like one thing you can look at is a interesting genre of music, like holiday music. So like Mariah Carey makes All I Want for Christmas Is You. That song alone she could retire on. And it's because it keeps getting played on radio stations. It'll be on every like Christmas compilation. So even if the splits on that were awful, she's still making bank. An artist now making a holiday song and it's just on Spotify, like they're not going to see the same royalties and collections for their lifetime. And that's a shame.
But does that only really affect like the Mariah Careys of the world?
I mean, I don't know. You could look at a song like, what is that? I'm trying to remember this other Christmas song. The Spice Girls ended up covering it. It became popular. And now there's a ton of covers. Oh my gosh. Am I able to Google something quickly here?
Yeah.
I'm just going to look this up. There's a Christmas song. I'll try to talk and Google at the same time. There's a Christmas song. It was a band from Britain in the 80s. And they had to make this like Christmas compilation for their independent label. And they do this song and... I guess it was what it was. It wasn't recorded the best and stuff, but it was kind of like a cult classic in Britain. It never, made its way across the pond or whatever, and it didn't get played on radios a bunch, but like a couple people knew it. And then, like I said, all of a sudden the Spice Girls end up covering it, and it gets really popular. And now, I just got to find the name of it because I'm for sure you'll know it. Christmas Rapping. Okay, you don't know the song Christmas Rapping.
Maybe if you played
I know
it,
it.
But anyways, it's just interesting that like they now get royalties and splits, this band, and like they've made now like thousands, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it will continue to live on. And I think like if a situation like that happened again,
right? Then they
now
wouldn't be.
it just wouldn't happen. They wouldn't make any money,
And
Even
no
if
one
it-
would go see them live because they had a Christmas song that was popular. But
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
don't. Think,
I see your point.
The band had already broken up, but these individuals who made this music, like years later, found success from it, and I don't think that could happen nowadays.
What about
this.
like the big stars like Bieber, Ariana Grande, Bublé? They've all done Christmas albums, and I'm pretty sure they all make bank off all of them.
But all of them did it before. I
Yeah,
would
those
say that the industry crashed.
prior to streaming,
Yeah,
where they made all that money.
like I was still
Presumably.
selling that stuff. Like I remember, working at HMV, even like 2015, and there would be like, yeah, the Bublé, the Justin Bieber album. But now there's not even HMV's not even around. There's not even a place.
That's
to sell
probably
that.
why no artists are probably making Christmas music anymore. Like I don't know if has there been any recent ones that you know of. Has Taylor Swift done a Christmas album recently?
DMX made a Rudolph song. Yeah. Other than like one-offs, no, I don't really know that many.
Yeah, I know Sia did an album.
That-
Once again,
Sia.
that
Yeah,
was
Sia did one recently.
but
That
that
was
was
really good.
like 2016.
But also, making a Christmas song is selling out, right?
For sure.
Well,
For sure.
for sure.
You'd have to be under Dave's like definition, wouldn't it? No one is like on my soul needs to make a Christmas song.
Buble?
Well,
Buble? Dude.
That's the thing. Buble was
just saw the
always
opportunity.
there. Like, he never sold out. Like, that was his realm, his atmosphere. It
You're
wasn't like he
saying he
started
didn't
out
sell
in
out?
underground clubs doing, like jazz music to.
I feel like your definition of selling out is just being big.
No. He
said Buble didn't sell out.
Yeah, I was
Because
saying
he was
Buble
always
wasn't
big?
a sellout.
Because he was always big?
Well, no, because his goal was always that.
What do you mean?
I don't know
goal?
Buble well enough. I have to assume.
I still don't know what you mean, though. Buble didn't make Christmas music, and then he made a Christmas album. How is that the same as what he's been doing before?
Right.
Because while the music he was singing about Christmas, it was still the same genre of music. The genre didn't change. Like, it was still that, like, what do you call them? Like lounge, jazz, adult contemporary.
Yeah,
like it was still that music. And for me, it seems like I don't know Michael Bublé at all, hardly. Like, I don't listen to his music, but I have to assume, from what I do know, that like that was always his goal, was to have mass appeal, was to be that big star. Like, what's interesting is you could see a
have mass
person
appeal
like
and be a
Panic at the
big
Disco. What's his name? Brandon Urie?
Brandon Urie, yeah.
He always wanted to be that big entertainer performer. He wanted to be the Frank Sinatra, and it just so happened that this band started out kind of pop punk, but I wouldn't say that they sold out, because that was always his goal and mission. He wanted to be like the Frank Sinatra of pop rock. So I think that's what it is. You have to look at, like, what are your intentions, when you create this a band or and that's what's so weird, because like if you change bands, then all of a sudden we're back on the sold out conversation. But anyways,
Well, it's really interesting because, like, didn't Justin Bieber just make pop songs that were Christmas themed?
Yeah, so he technically
yeah,
could
I
never
wouldn't say
sell out.
Bieber was a sellout, because he was like from day one. He always wanted to be the big pop star.
Because the way that I would look at it is like, why did he make a Christmas album? Why is he making Christmas songs? He wants just to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I mean, I don't know for sure.
Well,
but if we
it's
assume
probably
that, I mean, he is a religious person, so maybe there's something there, but it's probably to make money. And I feel like if you make decisions to make money, then that's what makes you sell out. Not like because he wants to be famous.
But I think the whole thing about selling out is that you're selling out your morals. So, like, if you didn't have those morals to begin with, then it's not a sellout. But what I would say is about Justin Bieber making Christmas music is, I don't even think it's about him making money. I think it's about his, label and management and his team being like, we want money. So Bieber, get in the studio. Like, I bet you he probably didn't want to make that Christmas album, but was told he had to.
Then
They're
that's
just not-
certainly selling out then, right?
I guess, but like for me, it was like he always just wanted to, like, he didn't have those morals to begin with. I don't think he was selling out his morals. Like, the whole time he wanted a team of people to tell him what to do and just be the most famous. And if they're like, you make a Christmas album, you'll be immortalized every December. Like, okay. There's no passion on those songs, though. I don't know. Mistletoe, that song's awful.
Melissa listens to them every year. It's part of our Christmas
so do
list. And I like them for the most part. So.
Yeah. Pum-pum-pum-pum.
All right. I've got a segment that we're going to call rapid fire. So don't
Nice.
actually go too deep. You can
Just-
give
just the tip.
you can give an explanation, but it's got to be one sentence.
Cool.
All right? And Lee, you can give yours too. It's
Wait,
called
let me introduce it. Ready?
Oh, rapid fire. Actually, this is different. If you Okay, wait. Do you have a segment called rapid fire?
No.
Okay.
Slowly ripped.
Should I answer faster than that?
No.
Sound effect. Anyways.
Okay. So it's not called rapid fire. It's called this or that.
Okay.
All right? And so you have to say this or that. But you got to give an answer and then a one sentence reason.
Quick explanation. Cool.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Oh yeah, I just think it tastes better, but like, I don't know. I used to be very anti-Pepsi politically, anti-Coke politically, but I'll say Coke now.
Oh, it's Coke all the way. Just tastes way better.
I somewhat agree. Because I do like switching it up. Diet Pepsi's okay. TV or movies?
TV. Something about the serialization is easier to digest. It's so interesting. I would look at a 3-hour movie and just say no, but then I'd watch like 4 hours of TV of like 10 episodes straight.
Yeah, TV. You could just dive way more into it, and it feels like there's way more broad ideas that can be like done over TV. To condense everything, you can't really get a great movie unless it's so precise and so calculated. TV, you don't need to.
That's actually why I would say movies, because I do think that
it's more like impressive.
It's like the greatest movies I feel like are better than the greatest television, but there's much more better. There's a higher quantity of better TV than there is movies, in my opinion.
Like, what's a better movie or movie series than like the first few seasons of Game of Thrones?
Okay, but you can't just say the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. What's better than the first 5 minutes of
What's the 15 minutes
of Dark Knight?
Right.
Nothing was better than the first 5 minutes. So you can't really do it like that, but still, really good movies are... It doesn't matter. N64 or Switch?
Well, you can play N64 games on Switch, so I'll just say Switch.
No, that's not an answer.
N64 then. Like, if we're just talking about the games themselves, I'm more likely to go play an old game that's nostalgic than I would to try out a new one. Like, unless it's a Zelda or a Mario, I'm not gonna necessarily drop the Xbox to try something. I'll go play Mario Kart again.
I'd go Switch. Mostly because I never had an N64, so I don't really have that nostalgia for it.
I've never played N64, so...
And Switch I've played, and my family owns them, and you can play non-Nintendo games. It's awesome.
I would have to say N64 because I haven't played enough Switch, but it's probably like... The N64 is just too nostalgic for us to compare the two, right? So it's difficult.
Yeah.
Couch or sofa?
What's the difference?
Couch or sofa?
A sofa couch.
That's not a good answer.
Couch.
Couch.
I say couch. I'll go couch.
Couch. I don't really know the difference, but I like to be a.
If you
like
come
to be a
home
couch
and you
potato.
say to your wife, "I'm going to lay on the
"Oh, no one says sofa." Are you out of your mind? It's couch.
sativa or indica,"
In the couch.
Yeah, into couch. Exactly. But you're right, indica. Sativas, certain ones just give me too much anxiety or paranoia. Every indica sits nice with me. Yeah.
I don't know enough about anything. Don't do drugs, kids.
in the couch. Orange or purple?
Orange. Yeah. I mean, first off, it's both a color and a fruit.
So is purple.
Purple drink.
They're about the same. They both don't have words that rhyme with them.
What about door hinge?
And
Isn't that
nurple.
what Eminem said?
Yeah.
Well,
You think they're equal? You think orange and purple are equal?
No, orange is better.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. Oh, I'm such a chocolate.
Who's a crazy person that says vanilla? They're crazy.
I think I might. Well, the problem is that there's no vanilla chocolate. There's no
Right.
vanilla
spread or like
Yeah. So like chocolate have bars, which are
Right.
amazing. Vanilla doesn't have that, so it's kind of.
But even with ice
But
cream.
like, if I were to get a milkshake, I usually go vanilla over chocolate.
See, chocolate.
chocolate,
Yeah.
everything. Everything.
Ketchup or all dressed?
Ketchup. Yeah. I don't like all dressed. I don't know.
That's
Although,
tough.
I will say, I actually haven't eaten all dressed chips in a long time. My palate has changed. But I love ketchup.
I spend way more money on all dressed. Way more. But I could eat them both a lot.
Ketchup Doritos.
Ketchup
Oh.
Doritos were good. Ketchup.
They're okay.
Have you tried ketchup Miss Vicky's?
No. Okay.
Very good.
Well, that's what I got to do next.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs, but I love cats. It's definitely dogs, but I love them both.
Dogs, 100%. But Kieran's dog, Archer, he started moving the needle a little bit. Shout out to Kieran.
Cat?
Yeah, cat's really cool, but
Kieran's cat, Archer.
Kieran's cat, Archer.
You said dog.
Move the needle. Oh. Yeah. Kieran's cat, Archer, move the needle for me, but still dog.
All right. Time travel twice or teleport infinite times?
Like, you can only time travel twice. So essentially, like, there and back. Or I
You
guess
can
end up wherever you want.
time travel twice or teleport infinite times?
I think infinite teleport, because I think there would probably be some way to hack that to do time travel.
No.
You teleport against the time zones.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I would
You
rather have
won it.
infinite than something that, is would expire. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have anything like in the past that I'd want to get back to so badly that I would choose it over teleportation. Because teleportation
Future,
is
though.
insane. It is so good.
Doesn't have to be past. You could go forward.
I don't want to go forward. Screw the future.
Mountains or beaches?
Mountains. I burn at the beach, and I'm not a great swimmer.
right.
So I'd rather ski.
Beaches have nothing to do. You just sit there and roast, and it feels terrible. Mountains, 100%.
Bath or shower?
Shower. I don't know. Bath, you're just sitting in your own filth. Like, unless it's a nice bubble bath with a nice lady, I'm into a shower.
What about a dirty shower versus a nice bath with a nice man?
Are there bubbles?
What's a dirty shower?
Like, it's just gross, dirty water. It's moldy. It stinks.
Yeah, I'll take
Cold.
a bath then.
Bath with sexy Ivan?
Yeah. With double dick.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Dude.
double dick dude? Oh, all day.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty shower with double dick dude.
Country or rap?
Rap. Yeah, I think that in the early days, especially rap and punk kind of were very closely related, and I think there is a lot of similarities. And yeah, I'm more into rap than country. I hate modern country. It's too pop.
Rap all the way. Easy peasy.
Text or call?
Text. I don't know. I think calls, it's too anxiety producing now.
I would love to get calls way more often. I don't know. It's hard. I think calls.
Yeah?
It's really cool. Like when my cousin will just call me up or Brof will just call me up. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Texting, I barely have a lot of fun. So
That's true. Acoustic or electric?
Electric. Yeah, I think they sound better, but also like there's just so much more you can do sonically with an electric. I think that you're limited with the acoustic in terms of certain techniques, but also, yeah, just like all your pedals and stuff, they don't take.
But acoustic is portable.
It's what?
Portable.
I mean, electric's portable too. It just may not be that loud. But you can still play on
To
it.
a certain extent, I suppose.
I find them more comfortable to play and easier to play, though.
I would say acoustic because I'm not playing either. I could listen to more acoustic stuff, I think, than electric stuff. I think. But I don't know. I really appreciate like when an artist does one of their songs like acoustic. I generally like the acoustic versions better than the originals.
Deep sea or deep space?
Oh, deep space for sure. One of my biggest fears is water. And yeah, I think everything like space, sci-fi, like I want to know more. I'm more future than past. Like I want to go out there.
I think I'm opposite. I find space so boring. Just the idea of it. We've talked about this on another podcast, but I think it's so boring. It's just like, what is even up here?
I guess in the deep sea, at least there's creatures
Maybe
and stuff
creatures?
that you would probably encounter or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Go see
I
a
do love
blobfish.
animals.
Socks or barefoot?
Socks. Yeah, I just love the comfort of a nice, thick sock, especially on like a cold winter day or something, and you just feel more protected. Like even when I'm sleeping, I have to have my feet under the covers. I hate when they're sticking out and exposed.
You ever wear socks to bed?
I don't wear socks to bed, no. But I 100% need the blanket wrapped around them.
Socks. But I sleep with my feet exposed.
Mm.
Like it's too hot to keep the toes under the blanket.
But aren't you scared the monsters are going to bite your toes off?
Didn't nibble your toes off?
I dare them to come. If it was mice, it'd be different.
Fall or spring?
Fall. I love Halloween, so that's in fall. And I'm, I guess you can wear layers in the spring too. Like I like wearing layers, but I love orange, like the earlier question. So you see a lot more orange in fall.
Spring is nice because like the mentality shift changes. You're like, oh, finally over winter. But I would still choose fall. Fall just has like the leaves changing. It just feels so nice and like, I don't know. Hot summer's over with. You get a lot of relief. Yeah, I don't know. I think fall.
I would say fall too, but Yeah.
My birthday's
Because like
in
this
spring.
spring and
It's
fall
weird.
are like the same seasonally,
Right.
basically. But
Right.
I guess the fall has more holidays and stuff, which is cooler, right? Like you've
Yeah.
got Halloween, Thanksgiving, and like Christmas is approaching. Whereas in spring, it's like
Would you consider
Easter?
Labor Day? I guess that's still summer.
Well,
That's
even
the end of
like
summer.
activities. Like, what are your like? Oh man, I can't wait for the fall or the spring to like start. What
going outside and doing stuff again.
gardening or like?
I mean, golfers wait for that for sure.
But golfing in the fall is awesome,
That's true. You can still golf then.
and like everything starts up in the fall. Everything, school, hockey, the basketball, like everything just starts back up. I think
TV
football,
usually.
TV, and, like,
Seasons,
everything.
yeah.
It's just the start of all good things.
So it's just fall.
Yeah, it's tough to say spring.
Rainy or sunny?
Sunny. Yeah, I don't like being wet. I don't want to get wet. I will avoid going outside when it's raining.
I love walking in the rain.
Mm.
I love staying in shelter under the rain or outside, but in the rain. But I think it's got to be sunny.
It's just rainy for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even
I
what about
love-
camping?
There
Rather
is
have good weather or
like half of it is it's like 50-50 for camping. Like obviously I want it to be dry and good weather, but if it's raining and stuff, like that's awesome. It sucks because it limits what you can do and that probably will ruin the trip, but like you be in your shelter in your tent and it's raining. I also don't like when it's hot and it's usually cooler when it rains. It's just like a lot of those factors is what makes rain better, but actually it's probably not 50-50 because rain really ruins a camping trip.
it takes away so much of what you can
You
do.
literally can't hang out with all the people you're there with. You get wet and it feels awful. And
Although me, Marco, and Evans went on a trip. It was 3 days, and it was raining the entire time, and we had a blast.
I've heard stories that was an awful trip. So
What,
I'm
from
not-
Marco and Evans?
Yeah.
Oh man, some
I'm
of the
pretty
best
sure from
memories.
you too. You've also
No.
said it was really bad.
No,
You're looking back with fonder
because
eyes
Evans
now.
was always on my ass, like, because I was always like, oh man, I want to try like camping through the rain. We always had good weather for like the first like 5 or 6 years that I went, and he was like, dude, it's the worst. You can never get dry. It's just you're cold and then you stay cold, or like you're wet and you stay wet, and like you can't have fires, you can't do all this stuff, and we had a great time. We had a great time.
All right, we'll have to ask them
It
that.
was mostly because Marco had an awful time. That was so funny. He's the best.
All right, last one. Keyboard and mouse or controller?
Keyboard and mouse. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with it. There's more you can do with it. I think, yeah. I like played a lot more games in my younger years, but now like I'm more like not using a computer to play games. So I'm just keyboard and mouse. Yeah.
Keyboard and mouse. It's just I try to make every game I play keyboard and mouse. I tried it for Rocket League and it doesn't work. It's a
not
mess.
possible.
It's not possible. But I tried it because keyboard and mouse is the way to go.
I mean, I guess it has to be game dependent, but I guess not. I was gonna say if there's an option, it would always be keyboard and mouse, but that's not true. Like if it's Rocket League, if it's a hockey game,
Right.
it's like really crappy on keyboard and mouse.
Right. That was sweet. I like it. Okay, here we go. My next segment.
I'm going down, 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 down memory lane.
That's right, baby. Going down memory lane. Okay, so this one, I wonder if you actually remember this.
Okay.
But when we were like in grade 4 or 5, you said that your dad told you that if you get a customized license plate, you can rip up the first speeding ticket you get from an officer. And you also claimed that your dad got a ticket and he ripped it up in front of the cop. Please explain.
I don't remember saying that.
Well,
That's what I was wondering. Like, if it's one of those
Explain.
things that as a kid you just lie about just to
Probably.
say like whatever. I used to make stuff up all the time to my sister.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, in Super Mario Bros, if you get like 1,000,000 points, you get infinite lives and you can never lose a life. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And like, I just made that up. 'cause
and
it
then
sounded
you walked
cool.
away and forgot about it, and the rest of her life, she's like, "Did you know?" Everyone she meets, "Did you know this fact?" And everyone's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, like I definitely don't think that's true. And I mean, maybe my dad said that to me like as a joke, but like, I don't remember that and couldn't tell you the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, I remember.
But I would do that a lot
grilling
as
you
a
at the
kid.
time, and you were like, "It's true. I saw my dad do it."
Oh, so then it probably was just me as a kid, like sticking to a lie or trying to like impress you with this
Yeah,
or
maybe.
that. And
If I ever got called out on a lie, I'd stick to it.
Yeah,
like no
same.
matter what, I just go down with it. Okay,
That's funny. I remember, I thought you were going to ask about like if your car was red, it was considered a sports car and you'd have to pay more for insurance.
that used to be true.
Okay, because I used to say that as a kid.
That was
and I
actually
thought you were
true.
going to say that wasn't true or you were going to call me out on that.
Oh.
But that was true. Okay, so.
Okay, so would you care to explain when parents used to pick up their kids, you and I would do a dance in front of the cars? Do you remember how that started at all? 'Cause
I don't. I don't remember how we like first did it or like why we decided, but like it became a thing. Like it wasn't just a one-time thing. Like we would choose like we're gonna dance today, right? Like after school, and we would go do it like multiple times.
Okay, if you don't remember the origin of it, then it's probably from me just wanting to make you laugh. I know that I love to make you laugh. And like growing up, I always like was trying to make you laugh, and like you laughed because I started probably dancing in front of a car.
Yeah.
And then you just joined in, and then we just did it like
Just
all the time.
In
And
solidarity.
it's the dumbest dance possible.
It
Can
really
you try to
is.
explain it, what it looks like or how to do it?
It like it's not even like the Carlton where there's like still some kind of like nuance to it or something that looks good. It doesn't look good. Like so you kind of hop in place, but then you shuffle your hands. They have to be fists. I think it has to be fists, and you would kind of pump them like to each side, so like to the left and then to the right, while kind of jumping in spot.
Yeah,
Is
there
that-
were double pumps. So you would lean one way with your upper torso, and you'd be hopping on one spot, and you just like shift your arms up and down. You pump twice,
And it was a
and then
double, yeah.
Switch, and then switch. So you're just jumping, hopping, and alternating.
But it
the
didn't
arm
look
pump.
cool. I mean, I guess that was the point. Was we just wanted to make people laugh or pay or
Yeah,
notice
and we
us.
just did it to
but-
parents picking up their kids like they're toddlers from.
And we would just wait for the reaction, and then like I don't even actually remember. Would we like run away, or would we just stand there like straight faced at him afterwards?
Yeah, we would just try to make the parents feel uncomfortable. And then if it was too much to bear, we probably ran away. Like, yeah, we definitely didn't just stay there and harass them because we had no balls. Let's be honest.
Well, we had enough balls to dance in the first place.
Yeah, true. True.
But I just remember like it was just one of those things you think about. Like as a kid, you just had no cares, and like it was so easy just to entertain yourself. Like we just were like, yeah, let's just go dance from the cars after school today.
Speaking of being a kid and entertaining ourselves, we had so many sleepovers growing
yeah.
up, and we would make so many forts.
Nice. Yep.
And I feel like if I asked you today, like, hey, Dave, you want to come over, sleep over, we're going to build forts, you'd be like, yes. I'll be
Hell
there.
yeah. I'd bring extra blankets and pillows.
I can't wait to build forts with Billy and stuff. But is it just like the nostalgia, or you think you're just like a big kid? Or because I don't know if Lou was like, yo, Lee, come on over, we'll build some forts and we'll sleep in sleeping bags. I'd be like, bro, I don't know.
It definitely is the nostalgia. Like, there's nothing at this point comfortable about it, like sleeping on the ground and, but I think it would just be fun. Like, for me, it's about that, like, no cares. Like, homework was done. You didn't have to think about school till Monday. It's Friday night or Saturday or whatever. Like, all you cared about was, like, when's the pizza arriving and what game are we playing? Like, which video game? It was just good times. And I think that, life now obviously has a lot more layers and complications and stuff. But like, if you were to say we're going to build a pillow fort and hang out, like come over, I'm just thinking like, once again, all those cares are washing away. Like we're just going to have a good time
Right.
and not let any other variables get in the way. Once again, it's just, what are
See,
we
that's
eating?
the
What are
thing.
we
Like,
playing?
I
Yeah.
would do that with you. I don't think I would do it with Lou.
But we're not making pillow forts together.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't think I could do it. I think it's that like
You're not
because
a fort
I
friend.
know that Huzyk's fully in on it.
You're right. I would not be fully in on it.
Right. Like to have you fully in on it, I don't know if I'd ever believe it.
Is that something that you would ever choose over doing anything else? Like,
Nowadays,
Yeah.
no. I think like it would be to experience like the nostalgia of it.
No, but would you actually choose to do that? Here's the thing: is like the reason why I wouldn't be on I would be okay with building forts and stuff but like it would be like one of the last things I'd want to do. There's so much other stuff we could do together that would
Right.
probably be so much more fun. So like, is it up there on your list of things to do that you would want to?
It's not on my list of things to do, but it is something I'd agree to almost immediately.
Oh,
Like if Huzyk was like,
Same.
dude, I actually want you to come over and we build forts and we do it, I would be like, okay.
Like
What
if
snacks do you
you
want me to bring?
if you were exactly yeah.
it's
same.
also funny as an adult because you could like go to the store and buy pillows. like
Yeah.
it's so weird. Like
Dude, we would have the sickest forts. Are you kidding me?
So the way I think about it was, remember when because I wasn't there for it, but you guys had that giant like Nerf fight in your basement,
yeah.
in your parents' basement.
Oh, yeah.
And like that was as like young 20s, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was still like a thing like you as
Oh, yeah.
would do
We
as a
went
kid,
to
do it as
Toys
an
R
adult,
Us.
and you went and just did it right.
And
like
we
so,
spent like hundreds of dollars on.
Each of
and
us
wasn't
spent
it
hundreds.
awesome?
It was awesome.
amazing.
Yes.
So if we had a pillow fort, we would do it right, like as adults, and it would be awesome.
But also, like I think we talked about this the other day because I was talking about it with Jake, I think, and I was like, I don't think I would ever want to do that again.
Oh, the Nerf thing?
Yeah,
Really?
like
what about
I agree.
just
I think it was a
something.
phase.
Yeah, it's something about being in this stage of your life where you actually don't have big problems in your life. You don't have things in your life that are going on. That like you're like, we literally have nothing to do for the next like month. What should we do? And like you don't have any ideas. Like no one has anything. And you're like, let's do this thing. And everyone's like, that's amazing. Let's do that. Now I just like
You're just thinking there's better things to do with your
there's
time?
just better things to do. I wouldn't want to waste the time on something like that because there's just better stuff to do. And not like there's more important stuff to do. There's just funner things that I would spend my time. I don't have enough free time for that to be worth it enough. If that makes sense.
I wonder if we never did it, would you want to do it now?
That's a good question.
Because like for me, it's one of those things like, oh, we've already done that. We don't need to go back and do that again.
yeah, maybe that is tying into it.
I know for myself, like I definitely seek new experiences, like even going back to music and movies. Like I don't re-listen or re-watch a lot of things anymore because I would rather see something new, have a new experience. And it's interesting because I'm also like so nostalgic, you know, for my youth and stuff like that. But that's why I think how you said it, like I wouldn't have it prioritized on a list to do these like Nerf battle or sleepover fight or that kind of thing.
Right.
But if you called me up and said we're doing it, I'd be there.
Right. I think like it's because we feed off each other's energy and enthusiasm. Like if you're like so stoked to go get freezies right now, I'd be like, yeah, let's go get freezies. I don't even like them that much, but you're so energetic about it. I'd be like, yeah, let's go and just go get them. It'll be awesome.
I think
That's
also
a good point.
a big part of it too is like we just don't hang out as much anymore. So just even the idea of like, oh, you're telling me you're going to hang out overnight, like at a sleepover, I'm going to see that much of you. That sounds amazing. So,
But if I was
just
like,
that factor.
if it was like Lee was like, yo, come over and we make forts, or he's like, come over, we'll play League of Legends, or come over and we'll, I don't know, what else do you guys like?
No, cook a steak dinner or something.
Cook a steak dinner or
Yeah,
something
or-
like that. Like,
Or
would
go to the casino or something.
would
Yeah.
building the fort ever make it to the top of that list?
Probably not the top.
Probably not, right?
Like as adults, we can
'Cause-
do like we could go. I don't even know if we go to strip clubs anymore or whatever. But I'm just trying to think of like 19 plus things that
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
do, right? Like, sure, like as adults now, we have so many more options.
I'm just
But-
saying that your point of we don't hang out enough, so I'd be down to do it, I think is a counterpoint. I think it's more like we don't hang out enough. Like, I don't want to waste the time that we have, like, building forts. Even though, like, I'm not saying that that's a stupid thing. It's just like, oh,
I think
there's so much more fun stuff that we both want to do more of. No?
I think it just goes back to that like one guy is just so
The energy?
excited to do it.
yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not opposed to it at all, so let's do it. And like,
Yeah, that's
let's
true.
both have a lot of fun. So
There's probably a lot of shit that if, like, Brof came into town and he was like, yo, we're doing this thing, we'd be like, yes.
yeah.
What if he
Whatever
was
that
like,
is, like,
let's go
yeah.
yell at the lake again while the waves crash over
Right.
us.
Right.
Be like, let's do it.
Okay, and then the last one is oh wait, no. This one here. During our grade 12 camping trip, You woke up one morning and Kieran punched you in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain?
Yeah, so that was from the night before where, well, first off, it was the high school like camping trip. So we had a bunch of our friends there. And it wasn't just the guys. We also had, the ladies with us.
The listeners are aware.
So, well, just in case if you're not listening, we got some
we had
new-
ladies there too, okay?
We were cool, trust me. No, but I think some of the ladies weren't having a great time, and some of us guys, who had done camping and stuff before, like we were having a really good time with it. And I think when it came to nighttime, some people, I shouldn't say just the ladies and stuff, but that was the tent we ended up attacking. But like some people wanted to go to bed early and wanted silence, and we definitely didn't. We wanted to keep on kind of partying and having a good time and stuff. And so late into the night, it's like, all right, let's play some pranks. And I don't know who had it. Was it you who had stink bombs on you?
We got it from Tien on Vu.
Tien brought stink bombs. And so we had this idea like, all right, let's just like throw these into tents. Like just open the zipper and throw it in quickly and then kind of get out of there. And what I didn't know was the tent that Kieran's then girlfriend, Lauren, was sleeping in, they had put their shoes right at the front of the tent where the zipper flap opens. And so when I threw the stink bomb in, it went right into the shoe that I think was like suede or something. They were like more expensive shoes and they got ruined. And I think that, already pissed, I'm sure, from the smell, which I can't even smell. I don't know how bad that thing stunk, but the shoes also got ruined. And so I think Kieran has like that boyfriend, like that valiant, what do you say? Like the knight in shining armor, he came by and just like punched me in the gut and was like, that was stupid, don't do that, or, we're mad at you kind of thing. That's the way I took it.
So interesting because I asked so many people and now I'm wondering like, who has the story right? Because like Kieran's initial story was a little bit different, I think. Your story is different than mine. And I would swear by my story.
Okay.
That it was actually Sarah Cuddy that we threw the stink bomb in their tent, and Sarah Cuddy's sweater got like, it was like black ooze that had like just like, or black goo had just like oozed out of the stink bomb.
Okay.
Because it was so old that it doesn't just like pop and stink. It just like popped and like slowly oozed out and just like stained her shirt. And he just like came out the next day and just punched you.
But why would Kieran care so much about Sarah Cuddy?
Because you ruined her sweater from our shenanigans.
I mean, I thought it was Lauren, and I don't know if they were dating or not at that point, but that's my memory of it. And I thought it was shoes, but I don't know. Like
That does seem to make more sense.
That would make more sense.
You got to ask Lauren.
I mean,
Now we have to ask Lauren or Sarah Cuddy.
Kieran is a very noble man. So
yeah.
regardless of what woman this act was done upon, he would have gone to their defense no matter what.
I remember.
But wasn't it you that threw it in?
Yeah, so me and Dave were doing this, and then I ran up to Kieran and was like, hey, Kieran, what the hell's going on? And then he's like, Dave threw a stink bomb in our tent, and it ruined the shoes or the sweater.
I will say, I don't remember who actually threw it, but we were doing it together. It was for sure like a joint
it was
effort.
like us
I was
together,
not innocent.
It was just you two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tien was like, take these.
I was like, yo, you have stink bombs, right? And then he was like, yeah. And then he gave it to us. And
yeah,
it
I
was
always
so
bring
old.
stink bombs wherever I go.
It's a regular camping trip. You have to bring stink bombs. You have to bring crabs, live crabs.
But then
you
I
have
told
to bring
Kieran-
coconut.
I told Kieran, I was like, it's not just Dave. If you're punching Dave, you got to punch me too.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, I'm not going to punch you.
I do remember that. You did say that for sure. Yeah. You're a good friend, or you're being honest.
He is
about
also a very noble man. And if someone takes the punishment for his crime, he will also ask for the punishment.
Yeah. He needs a punishment too. But yeah. So that's interesting.
That was what, Turkey Point?
This was Turkey Point.
Yeah.
We just went back there.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you say we, like who?
It was like me, my cousins, and Lou.
Oh, cool. This summer that just passed?
Yep.
Yeah, it was this fall.
Yeah, it was actually
like
just
a
a
month
few
ago.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Good weather? No rain? Or did you
Lot of
get
rain.
your rainy
A
camping?
decent amount of rain.
It rained when we got there, but it was fine. It's interesting because like you got most of the beats right of the story. It was just
I was like, he's way off right now. Like when you started it, talking about the ladies, like we're so upset. I was like, oh, you're mixing stories. Because Because I remember that story, like where Nikki Harris and like Heather Spence were like so mad at us.
Yeah.
They like called us inhumane and stuff. And like,
But I thought that's why we wanted to prank him, was because they were being so like unreasonable or whatever. We're just like, it's like 9 p.m. Like, give me a break.
So otherwise we would have thrown it in their tent and we didn't.
I thought we were throwing it in multiple tents though. We had more than one stink bomb,
Yeah,
I
we
thought.
just had 2. I think the other one just didn't work or something.
But my favorite memory from that camping trip, and it's a very intimate moment with just Chris Lawson and myself because we shared a tent.
Nice.
And I remember, so we were sleeping, and I don't think we fell asleep like face to face, but that's how we kind of ended up rolling around or whatever.
After
like,
making out or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah,
you know it. Like, you know, he will wear you out. So, but I had nightmares in my sleep, and it was about spiders, like thousands of them, like falling on me. So I woke up scratching, like just like trying to bat these imaginary spiders off of me. And I'm screaming right in Lawson's face. And I'm doing all these scratches like right in his face. And he just wakes up and he just closes his eyes and goes right back to sleep. And then I asked him about it like a couple hours later when we were actually up. And he was just like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was fucked. And that was it.
That's amazing.
That dude just
really
rolls
funny.
with it, man. You can deal with any situation.
He's like, I don't want to deal with this. So
Yeah.
Just like, if I just go back to sleep, then this is over.
Fucking David. Yeah.
Amazing.
My favorite memory, not favorite memory, but like one of my favorite memories is me and the vet were sleeping in my tent, and she would wake me up and just like yell at me that I'm snoring. I'd be like, no, I'm not. And I'd go back to sleep. And then like 5 minutes later, she'd slap me awake again. She's like, you're snoring. I was like, no, I'm not.
That's the best.
Do you hear snores right now?
Yeah, I was so like firm with it. And then would just go back to sleep.
The first time she's like, maybe he wasn't?
Maybe he's
Wait, what? No, he is. What the hell? That's amazing.
Man. Okay, so last memory, and this one's way darker than the other ones.
Ooh.
So I'm notorious for just being a night owl and staying up super late.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. You show up at my house, you're throwing rocks at my window. And nothing romantic, because you showed up like with ripped shirts and ripped jeans and you were bloodied. And you and your dad just got into a fight. And you were like, I just remember you saying things like, dude, he's way stronger than everyone says he is. Like, you guys all make fun of me that my dad's a pansy. This guy's fucking strong, man. He just beat the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, just come on in. Like, we'll just hang out. What happened?
So, well, to preface the whole like pansy thing or whatever, like I remember there was these conversations like whose dad could beat up whose dad, you know, like I'm sure a lot of kids or teens or whatever have that conversation. But I was so surprised when my dad like lost, like out of everyone. I'm like, no way, because like I knew my dad, like he's short, but he's got muscles and like, you know, he used to be very athletic and stuff, and but like what had happened was. I was a teenager, and so yeah, I acted up every now and then and stuff, and so I just think that like the relations between myself and my parents at that point, like we were fighting a lot more often and stuff, and I was a rebellious teen. I mean, as rebellious as one can be in Burlington, but like it was something so innocent. It clearly was a case of something building up. Like the actual incident itself wasn't that bad. But I think it was just all this tension building up. I got home from work at McDonald's, and I remember I had always told my mom, because she kept doing my laundry and stuff, which is great. Like it was nice that she was helping out. But what she would do is she would take my band T-shirts and throw them in the dryer, and they would shrink. And I was like, no, you got to hang them to dry. I want to hang my stuff to dry. And I remember I got home, and all my shirts were in the dryer, and they like were all shrunk and stuff. And so, I shouldn't have done it, but I went up to my mom's room, because she was asleep. This was like midnight or something, or 1 o'clock, and I remember I walked in her room and I was like, "What did you do? Like I told you not to do that." And I don't know why. What's done is done. I don't know what I thought I'd accomplished, but my dad, overheard it and saw it, and he was like upset because I remember after I, had yelled at my mom, I went back to the basement to eat my McDonald's. I brought dinner home. And he just walked in the basement. I remember there was like a cup of that orange soda, you know, that like uniquely McDonald's one. But he just slams it right in my face and it goes all over me. And that's when I'm like, what the hell and stuff. And so I get up at him and then he's trying to tackle me down and, you know, I'm trying to resist and stuff. And it just sort of spiraled from there where, you know, like fists started to be, it wasn't just like wrestling now or trying to like hold down, but like we were full on fighting and like, yeah, my shirt got torn and stuff like that. And I just remember like not being able to overpower him, that he was, you know, he wasn't like abusing me because I was throwing punches too. Like it was a fight. It wasn't just him like taking it out on me. But I had realized like I've lost this fight. So once I was able to get free, I just ran out the front door. Like I didn't have any keys on me. My clothes were all ripped up and stuff. I remember I went to the park nearby. What's that park called again? Sinclair's
Circle?
Whatever, yeah.
Sinclair Park or whatever.
But anyways, just a nearby park and hanging out there for a bit and kind of like crying and just being like, what the hell do I do? And I had contemplated like just sleeping there on the bench or something but I was like, this is too close to home. Like they'll probably look for me here and it may not be safe. So that's when I went to, my best friend or like my, a close friend and,
best.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you were the best. you let me in, and yeah, you definitely helped me that night. I remember like being there until it must have been, I don't know, like 6 a.m. or something. I think the sun had come up, but I remember breaking into my house. Like I did return, and it was before anyone else had woken up, and I got the keys to the car, which at the time it was my mom's car. It wasn't mine yet, and I remember just driving to now it's at Brant and Upper Middle, there's that grocery store there.
It's now a Freshco.
It's now a Freshco. Whatever, that parking lot
chopper,
though.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a Price Chopper. But going to that parking lot and just like parking in the back there and sleeping there for a few hours until I hoped that my parents would leave the house so I could go back home and not run into them. And to be honest, I don't remember how it all resolved. Like it clearly has. I'm fine with my parents now and was probably like a day or two later. But it was an intense moment. And it was just, I think, like it was bottling up. I wasn't being a great, person either. I was that, like I said, that, just a little shithead, rebellious teen. And, but also like my parents, I don't know what they would say or think about the situation. I definitely, I don't want to speak for them, but I think that there are other variables into why were not acting their best either. But yeah, I don't know what your perspective was on it.
I don't have much memory of it other than you showing up like with like what I've already said. Like that's almost all my entire memory. I probably was playing Dota and I don't know what we did once you came in the house.
I think we just like talked for a bit and then we just like hung out, probably played more video games or something. But like I just remember being so scared and not knowing like what to do or where to go. And, the fact that you just answered and were like, yeah, like, don't worry about it. It was so helpful in the moment. So yeah, it was great. Well, I mean, the situation wasn't great, but you were.
Yeah, man. Always. That's the really cool thing about my parents. They were like always fine with me extending a helping hand no matter what. And they never ever said anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was just I just knew that was the ground rule. You just anyone that needs help totally fine staying over. It's like not a problem. So that was really cool. I don't know. I guess I like thinking about it now. Like I definitely took that for granted.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think that many parents are like fully just like willing to just cater to whatever your kids' needs are, in that sense. Because I had a lot of people just come over and stay over all the time.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about my parents. They would be okay with it, but they probably would want to be like, get involved.
Right.
They'd be like, what happened to you? Should we go talk to your parents and stuff? And that's probably not what you wanted, right? So it's...
Well, I think because at that hour, we didn't even run into your parents. Like I don't.
No, I know, but like
so they wouldn't have even known.
That's probably like part of why Lee's place was such a great place is that his parents kind of stayed out of it, right?
Yeah,
and that's probably, you were like, you probably did not want to talk to any parents.
I didn't want to
about it.
answer to adults at that point.
So it was like, this is a perfect place. You just go here and you know that it's not, you're not going to be questioned for coming in however you were, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because now I would take like your parents' tact. If something happened like that, like Kid comes over, like beat up and stuff. I would call their parents, be like, "Hey, your kid's here. He's fine. He's safe. Don't go running looking for him. He's just here. So, what do you want to do or whatever, right? Or like he's just gonna stay here, like."
But like, well, how old were you then?
A teen. It was like 16 or 17. I was driving, so it was like, yeah.
Maybe it's a little different when they're older. You're probably thinking of like Billy, and
Right.
like when he's getting,
Yeah,
but like
like
when
maybe
they're
like-
like that much older, I don't know. I guess it's all
Still.
situation dependent.
Yeah, just to get a call and be like, "Hey, you don't need to go call the cops. You don't need to go
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like
Asking
if a kid
neighbors.
shows up like
beat up."
battered, you probably don't want to tell them.
Anyways, yeah.
You may
true.
suspect the
That's
parents.
true.
That's true.
That's true. You were.
I mean,
tatted up.
suspect the
Like,
parents. It
I
was
remember.
your dad, not
Well,
that.
no, in this case it was, but
Right.
if you're saying like if one of your child's friends shows up like that, yeah, you may not want to call the parents. You'd call like
Right.
protective services or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is so crazy.
Crazy. Because I mean, that stuff's bound to happen later on.
Is that like one of the worst?
Yeah, like my dad and I didn't fight physically like that ever again. That was like a one and done. Or if there was like other stuff, it was never like that. Like that was the worst of it. And even with like my mom and stuff, because we didn't physically fight, but we would like verbally fight and stuff. Like we're a great relationship now, and have been for a long time. It was just a bit of just like I said, the kind of rambunctious, rebellious teen years, and a part of it too was my sister was I don't know if she's out of control, but she was going through some stuff then too. So my parents were just, I think, a bit like, worn thin.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, it definitely got better for whatever reason. That just wasn't. That was just our worst time. But yeah, I don't know. Have any of you ever fought with your parents in a really big way?
No, not like that. Not where it almost got violent.
Yeah, not really physical. Like when we were really young, my dad he'd hit us, but like most of it was just threatening,
Yeah.
and that's how it kind of ended with threats and stuff. But like not threats, like you know what I mean. Like the idea of if you misbehave, then
Yeah.
there's consequences,
Yeah.
right? Then like you're just worried about that all the time, but it was like never really a thing when we got older.
Yeah.
I think I just never had the balls to fight my dad. I know he would kick the shit out of me. Like he would destroy me. So it's just like,
Your dad was scary.
like I'm not gonna mess with him. So
Sometimes he would be like upset we were still up.
oh yeah,
Like,
all the time.
5 in the morning or
time.
whatever. He'd be like, yeah, go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Scary.
again. That's like nonstop. Now he's just fine with it. We do it all the time now, and he's just like, "You guys are nuts. Like, how are you guys staying up till 5 every day?" But yeah, no, never got physical. A lot of screaming. I used to scream at my parents a lot, but
I think like part of why my dad and I probably fought so much is because I'm so much like him in certain ways, in the case that we're both like stubborn, or very like we can get set on our idea, or like what's in our head kind of thing, and we don't always listen. And so I think that was a lot of what was going on then. Why we fought a lot. Now I feel like I've learned how to talk with him or give up on things. It's like, even if I feel like I know I'm right, it's like it's not worth the fight. It's like, okay, dad, I'll leave it at that. Yeah. So you live and learn. So it was a learning experience those years, but yeah, thankfully it didn't last long, and I don't see us ever getting back to that point.
that's good. That's good. Magoo, you got any segments? I have 2 more.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the reason we started this podcast was because I wanted to make like a time capsule podcast where it's like I interview all our friends, and then Lou wanted to interview people about like the things they know a lot about. Like for you, obviously it's music. That's like been what we've been talking about. But Brof was the one that put us together. Brof was like, "Did you know Lou also wants to do a podcast?" And then we both talked to him independently, and we're gonna do our own thing. And then we eventually just put it together, and it's been way better.
It's been sweet.
It's way better. So these are the time capsule questions.
Okay.
I think I sent you these before. I don't know if you read them over or thought about
I
them.
did, yes.
So let's see to compare, because I did these on the fly with Brof, and it was a lot of silence for a long time. Because a lot of them take a lot of thinking.
So the idea is we're going to be asking these questions, and then eventually, at some point in the future, we would review.
Ideally,
We would ask you
5
these
years.
questions again, and then review the answers.
Yeah, ideally 5 or
okay.
10 years.
Cool. Okay.
and then
Gotcha.
talk about now and then. So, what is your favorite word?
I was thinking about this. I'm not a big language person. Like, I'm definitely more a numbers kind of guy. So, like, I think my favorite word would be juxtaposition. It's not a word I would have chose, but it was something that was pointed out to me that I use it a lot, or like I find ways to use that word when you could use another word.
That's funny because I always try to use that word.
Juxtaposition?
Yeah,
It's a fun word. I
But-
love the X.
it's not my favorite word. I don't know if I have one though.
It sounds like an onomatopoeia. You know what I mean? It's like it sounds like it means
Like what it is? Yeah.
juxtaposition because it's like a
Yeah. It's fun to say, it's fun to spell. But it also, like, it kind of makes you sound a bit smarter, maybe. when you say it. Like, I don't know. That's just what I thought of for favorite word. But I wouldn't say, like, I have really a hard favorite. It's just the one push come to shove.
Nice. What is your least favorite word?
So this was the other thing, right? I couldn't really think of this one. Like, I know some people are like, oh, I hate moist. I hate this, how that sounds on my mouth. But, like, I don't really have a least favorite word. I'm more about positives. I'm more about, like, bringing it together, not... Actually, that's not true. I like to critique stuff, too. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for this one, so maybe...
Is there
don't know.
something that you hate hearing all the time?
That's what I was trying to think of, too. Like, even... I know some people are like, I hate hearing no. Like, there isn't, like, a trigger word for me, per se.
how about a bad word?
Like a swear word? I like swear words, though. Those would be favorite words. I like using them.
Most people, because I've listened to, I don't know, probably like 24 interviews, like using these questions. And most people's favorite or least favorite word is cunt. So many people love that word, and so many people like.
Oh, people have said it's their favorite.
Yeah, lots. Probably
Do they
more than half.
Do you think they say that because they know a lot of people like don't like it?
I don't know. I think it's just like
That's a
fun to
weird-
use.
that's a
It's like
weird-
when you like to gossip about someone or you like to talk shit about someone. You really like that word.
But it's also like it's a big British thing, right? So, like, I think it depends on where you live, or, like, it could be, like, a more cultural thing.
True.
Maybe. Podcasts, all Americans, or generally most Americans.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, that doesn't offend... I don't have words that offend me. Like, there isn't anything someone could say where I'd be like... I guess it would just be, like, stuff that we've agreed as a society, like, is not good. Like, the N-word, or, like,
Right. What
the
about
R
ginger?
word. No, that's fine, too.
About
Like,
fire crotch.
maybe fire crotch, because, yeah, like, I haven't heard
There
that
it
in
is.
forever,
There it
so there
is.
you go.
Favorite word.
I have not heard that
We'll
in,
see
like,
if in
decades.
5 years you feel like fire crotch is still.
I don't think that one's aged any better. I don't know if 5 or 10 years is gonna sweeten that
It's
one.
gonna take off. Trust me.
Okay, who is your favorite person in the world?
Oh, I gotta
Dead
go with
or alive?
I gotta go with Natalie. I gotta go with my girlfriend. She's amazing. I love her. But even like that aside, she's so inspiring. I think she's just such a kind, giving, thoughtful person. Everyone who meets her, usually likes her or loves her and gets along with her. I just brought her to Edmonton to meet some family. On my mom's side, they all live out there. And my grandma, who is 90 years old, I don't know how much more time we will have with her. So I wanted to make sure Natalie got to see her. And my grandma was like, you chose right. You know,
Nice.
and hearing that was like so affirming. Like, yeah, she's the best person. So she's my favorite person in the world.
She is a sweetheart. I can definitely attest to that. I was like, man, she's amazing.
But she inspires
She's a gem.
me to be a better version of myself. And that's also, I think, really important, because you can have people that you like but aren't good for you. You can have that fun friend you go out and party with and stuff, but should you be out partying till 3 in the morning or something? Like, she's someone I think who actually like enhances and improves my life and motivates me to not be better, but like want to be better for myself and for her. So yeah.
Would she fight your dad for you?
Did she step in?
She
Take a punch?
is unfortunately, in a fight or flight situation. I don't even
Flight.
think she'll flight. I think she would just like pause. So no, I think if my dad were to be that abusive, she would have to take the punch. But she would take it like a champ and wouldn't cry.
There you go. What are you most proud of?
So for this answer, I was gonna say the album Uncertainties that my band, the Gentlemen Thieves, made, because not just that, even that album, but like the tour, everything around that release and stuff. We got to work with the reason why I picked up guitar was because of the band Sum 41. And the main guitarist in that band, the one who did all the awesome licks, was Dave Brownsound, Dave Bash. And he was the producer for that album with Gentlemen Thieves. And like being able to work with the guy who, the reason why I picked up a guitar in the first place, it blew my mind. And like, you know, being able to then not only like have that experience, but have an awesome end result. Like I'm still so proud of that album and how it sounds and the production of it. And like to this day, when people say like, oh, you're a musician, or like, can I hear some stuff? That's what I show first. And like, I remember the tour for that. I booked the whole thing and we did like coast to coast Canada. It was something like 24 shows, over a month. And we made so many friends and so many connections on that tour, and even like to the album artwork. And, we got like, stickers and stuff, the design for that. We asked our friend, an acquaintance, Chris Cresswell from the Flatliners, that band I brought up earlier, one of my favorite bands. So he got to do the album artwork for us and stuff. And like just all my favorite people, basically, I got to work with. And I'm just still so proud of it. And music and art is one of those things like, it's sort of a gamble, a crapshoot. Like if you're going to have a bunch of success, and how you define that success, we talked about earlier, and all this and that. But like, for me, that album was a success. Like we got to achieve what we set out to do. And with that album, there was one song in particular called Fading Echo, where, because we had released that as a single a bit earlier. So by the time we had toured to Saskatoon, we played this house party there, and some kid told us like, that song saved my life. Like I was going to kill myself that night, and I had your song on repeat and I stopped myself. And to know that we affected at least one life, we made a change. And so I'm just so proud of what we accomplished with that album. Yeah.
That's really cool. That is sweet. That's a sweet answer. Well, on the opposite side, what are you most ashamed of or regret the most?
I don't really live with regrets. And I don't have shame over this, but if there is one thing I maybe try to avoid bringing up, it's that I dropped out of university. I never finished university. I'd only gone for 2 years. So, I wish that, maybe I did have a full degree, but I don't wish I was doing the job that would have provided. Like I went for, physical sciences with, organic chemistry and stuff. Like I couldn't see myself in a lab, or like I really don't know what that would have transitioned into, but I'm happy with where I am now. I have no regrets. But yeah, that's just something that I don't bring up.
Right.
But if someone asks me about it, I'll talk about it. It's not
So
like shame.
do you wish you never went? Sounds like you don't even want the degree, so it's just like you don't want to have to like.
It's kind of a thing, like, I don't like to quit, or like I like to finish what I started. So yeah, like I almost kind of wish I didn't go. At the time, I didn't want to go. My parents forced me to go to university because they thought if I took a year off, or I didn't want to take a year off, I want to go back to high school for another year. I still wanted to be in school, but I wanted to figure out what my passion was. But my parents were like, A, you're going to be the first person in our family to go to university. Like, you got to do it. Your sister didn't. Like, my parents didn't. There was this pressure, to achieve in that way. And they thought like, yeah, if you don't go now, you never will. And so I just went into what was easiest for me in high school, which was like the sciences, but like I had no passion for it, or not enough passion to want it to be a career. So I really do wish I had another year of high school where I would have taken like photography and drama and more artsy stuff. And I think I would have come to the realization that I wanted to maybe pursue more of an art side of things than, like a science job or degree or whatnot. Yeah.
Nice. What's the one thing you do on a regular basis that you hate doing?
Like a trait about myself that I hate, or just like something I have to like actually do?
I don't know. However you interpret that question.
I forget. I did come up with something earlier, and it was more about like a thing that I have to do that I just hate. Well, one thing I will say, you know what? This is a good answer. I hate that I have to sleep. I just hate sleep in general. Like some people
agree.
love it and it's relaxing, but I just see it as a waste of time. Like it's a shame that our bodies require it. If I was given the choice, like you don't have to sleep. Like you could just keep on going. I would, and I would be more accomplished.
Yeah, in
So.
fact, I do a lot of times.
But then again, if I am sleeping and you try to wake me up, I don't want to wake up. But going to sleep, I hate that.
Right.
Yeah.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
So as a kid, I would have said, or like as a teenager, like I'd want to be invisible or read minds. But now I think that's like too intrusive. So I think I would choose like telekinesis. Like if I was able to just move things with my mind, super useful. You could still save lives or do dangerous jobs with that if you want to take the moral high ground. If you still want to like rob banks or whatever, you could still do that. But like, I just don't think it's so invasive and intrusive. Like people's thoughts and memories should be their own and private. If you're invisible, there's the whole like pervy thing. You could be watching people and like, I don't want that. I don't need that. Telekinesis. Because I think you can also hack it and you could fly. Because then I could just stand on a surfboard and make that surfboard move. And I could fly anywhere I want.
That's true.
It's like Magneto.
Yeah.
And what would you do if you had telekinesis?
You could do so much. Like
I know you could. But what would you do?
I think I would try to find a way to
Sell
use
out.
it to make money for sure. but only like I wouldn't want to work a lot. Like I would want to like not rob a bank. I would want to try to find something that's still morally sound, make money off that. But then I would just want to kind of be lazy and be like, I'm going to be on the couch and bring me my drink, bring me my food, and I don't need a remote. Just boom on.
I love it where it goes because I think most people do this too. It's like you could have any superpower that could do anything you want. And really all you want is like to just retire.
Just have money.
Just have enough money to like I don't have to work and I can just be somewhat lazy. Like that's what people like dream of. It's ridiculous, you know? Not it's not ridiculous. It's just funny that that's like I just wish I didn't have to work hard, you know?
But isn't that like a basic thing? Like we all just want like safety and security.
Yeah.
Like they say that's just such a primal trait, you know? Yeah. Like I just want to be safe and warm, retired in my home. But like things are easier because they're just coming to me.
Yep.
What's one thing that you wish people understood about you?
So this is going to be funny because you guys have done it tonight the whole time.
Oh no.
I hate the name Dave. I always go by David. And I wish everyone would call me David, not Dave.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I call you Dave?
You have tonight. I've been tracking it because I knew this question was coming up.
Pull out the counter.
Yeah, because I usually go to nicknames most of the time. Maybe because it's the podcast. Because I call you Q's a lot.
And I think that's cool. Like Huzyk, there's just something about Dave. It makes me think of like a frat guy just like slamming a beer can on his head. And I'm like, that's not me. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I watch something like...
Oh, you don't know Dave? He's the guy that slams beer cans on his head. Dave Huzyk.
I don't know.
With his telekinesis.
He doesn't use his hands.
I don't know if I just like met a bad Dave when I was young or like... Because as a kid, I used to go by Davey. You know, usually do like the more kiddie version. I'd be like, I'm Davey Billy Huzyk or whatever. But then I wanted to be like more adult, more mature. So I'm like, I'm David. And so maybe it's that. Maybe I just see Dave as like too casual. I really want it to be more formal. But like now I just like I only see myself as a David. I'll respond to Dave. I don't get like super offended, but like it's just interesting that I've never introduced myself as Dave.
That's
Have
interesting.
you ever
Never written my
have
name
you ever
as
like
Dave.
corrected me?
I think I would like one time maybe. Like, I don't recall it, but I mean, like, usually what I do with it, like, it doesn't bother me enough, and it's such commonplace. Like, I probably do it to other people, where I'm like Liz instead of Elizabeth or something, and they may not like that, but, you know, we just take these short form hands and stuff, and, like, if I may have tried, like, once, but if it's just, like, if that's what you naturally say and do, like, I'm not going to create friction, like, you know, it doesn't bother me that much.
It's surprising because everybody that I know calls you Dave.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about, because I was gonna say like that's interesting because I can only think of Brophy calling you Dave, and you and Brof like hung out all our lives calling you Dave.
So when
Jake calls you Dave. Everybody calls you Dave.
So,
Well,
like, I don't-
Jake's kind of the outlier in all of that, because I'll say, like, I'll have bandmates sometimes where if they do meet like old friends and stuff, they're like, Dave, what's that? Or like Natalie will be like, they call you Dave. Like, I thought you didn't like that. And I'm like, yeah, but whatever. It's been so long, and like, it doesn't bother me that much. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's just kind of something I guess people knew.
I think this is the first time I've ever known that.
Yeah. David.
Yeah, David.
Well, thank you. Yeah. But honestly, like, if especially like in moments and stuff, like you're playing sports, you just got to say something, like whatever comes out. It's, I'm just happy you're talking.
Kill
to
fire
me.
crutch.
Well, now that's just more syllables. That's ridiculous. But no, like, I'm just glad you're talking to me,
Never knew that, but
That is crazy interesting. Yeah, because I never knew this.
I will ask you to correct me every time
Okay.
because then it'll work. I'll switch, but I will probably forget.
Okay.
So if
like,
you keep correcting me,
it doesn't bother me that much, but if
yeah,
it is
but
something
if that's
that
what
you
you want
want
to
to
be
work
called,
on,
why
yeah.
can't I call you what you want to be called?
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Then I'll let
David?
you know. I'll let you know. And it's Lou, not Dan?
It's actually never Dan. It's
It was
Danny
never. Or it was Danny, you're right.
or
See, there
Lou.
we go.
But it's Lou, yeah.
We all have our preferences, yeah. You've never been a Matthew?
I don't really care. Call me whatever. I'm Mr.
Fire crotch?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, okay.
Did you call me fire crutch?
That'd be
You're the
huge.
best.
Just don't call me maybe.
Ha ha ha. What a great conversation. Stay tuned for part 2 with David.